So when you're able, you're going to mute or unmute and such. So another thing you'll realize, currently I'm using 3 screens. So if you see me looking from side to side, you don't worry, I'm using 3 screens to coordinate the training. One will be sharing what you'll be able to see, one will be able to monitor the charts, and one will be also for my video. So so you'll totally understand when I'm doing that, because my laptop and my other screen are on this side, and the video that you can see me with is on that side. So the other thing is, before we start the training, obviously, which is what is brought us here, I'll be able to say that you've done very well. Especially in your Google Classrooms, I've seen a number of you really interacting with your students through the platform. I think we've seen a number of your digitized notes for upload, which you're also going to see how we have a model kind of a way how notes are. So you'll be able to see it. We'll share that, and basically can say thank you for, because without you, without the lecturers embracing these new technologies, without you, the student could not actually be able to utilize them. So where Taraka is, and the plaudits, and also the applaud that you are getting maybe from IT and also from the whole university, is because of you lecturers embracing and using this technology, applying the trainings that you've gotten before. And without you, we cannot be who we are. Usually say I am because we are. I think it's something about Ubuntu, being together. So first, that is just to thank you so much. And same case also for this training, you are also welcome to interject me. There's not going to be a place where I'm telling you at the end is when you're asking me questions. Ask when you have not understood something. If I'm too fast, you tell me. If I'm too slow, you also tell me to move a bit faster. Also, if I seek for a break because there's some training and also a virtual defense which is going to start at 10, and I realize that maybe the link cannot go through because I'm having another meeting. So if I'm called a bit to sort that out, you'll kindly maybe excuse me that for 5 or so minutes, then I'll be able to come back in. So unless there's any question before we start, I'll also remind you on what some may have joined and don't even remember what you are going to be trained about. Don't worry, that's not a crime. I will remind you what you are going to be trained about today. So unless there's any question, I'll beg to start the training, unless there's any questions so far, which is not regarding the training itself, but regarding e-learning in general at Taraka. Any question? Any question? I'll also be opening the chat, so I'll check on that. So let me start this meeting on my other devices, so that I can be able to do the share. Also, as you've been advised, you can do a lot to save. I think I'll also check on the gallery view. There are a number of views on this Zoom, and I'll check on maybe the participants who have opened their videos. I'll ask you, personally, I'll also stop my video so that it saves on those who are using bundles, so that they don't use a lot of bundles. So I'll ask also Dixon, and if you're also if you want us to do the stopping of the video for you, we'll do that. But I'll stop all the videos that are running right now. So I'll stop that. Okay, if you have, you just stop yours. Let me see. I'll stop that video. Stop that video. Yes, yes, I can see you're hearing me well. There is Francis Njiru who has not joined on audio. Maybe Dixon, you can type that on the chat so that you can join the audio because I think you can't hear us. Okay, you'll realize I'm on two accounts. That is why I have to join as that. And in one account, I'm not using the audio. So I'll also stop my video. I believe you've seen me and you've seen that it is truly me who is speaking. So you'll allow me to stop my video like that. Then I'll do a screen share. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. I hope you're seeing the Google page. So be ready for those clarifications every time. So let's have, obviously, somebody is always ready to unmute and say yes, or even say yes on the chat, because I'll also be checking the chat for any questions anytime. So I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing, and that is the Google page. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that?
Yes.
I can confirm. Yes. Thank you. Also, I'll check on the participants. Yes, I believe everyone has joined using the official names. That I think maybe Dixon, you had not taken in somebody. Don't know if you had confirmed who is taking the minutes. So I think maybe it's Mwenda. So you can do that. Thank you. I've also seen Kimathi. Yes, I've seen your comment. So the training today covers two things. We're going to be having two training sessions. That is Google Classroom assignment submission and the Moodle course administration in general. Once you are given the rights to access your Moodle course, that after you've digitized, they're also going to tell you through the whole process of Moodle. So that you understand why should we have Moodle and yet we have Classroom. Some are asking such questions. Why should we have Classroom yet there is Moodle? So you'll be able to understand that. Okay. So you'll realize in this case, and as I've said in previous trainings, I did not come up with like let's say a training manual or a PDF or some materials to share with you so that we can follow it through, because I wanted it to be as interactive and as real and as live as possible. For those who have already joined or logged into institutional mails, I think you saw some links, a lot of important links, e-learning links that I shared early this morning. But I'll start with one link that uh, that is very important. When you type classroom help, I believe you see that. I hope you're seeing that. This is where you get all the help for Google Classroom, and this is what I'm going to also be using to guide you through the classroom. So the classroom help looks like that when I load it, and we are not going to do the whole help, obviously. As I said, we are very specific on what you're doing. So allow me to take this call in just a bit. sorry about that. As I told you, there are some 2 meetings starting at 10 a.m. and also coordinating that so that they can be able to have their meeting on Zoom. But that is fine. So okay. So you can see a number of things that you can do. You can see, you can explore the classroom, get to know. I believe you are past this stage, signing in and setting up the classroom. We already did that. I think you even got a training, and also you have the procedure manual or the standard operating procedures. I'll also be checking on those. I'll also be checking on anyone. I'll also be checking on anyone who is unmuted. Also mute yourself if you're not asking a question. So I'm back here. So you can see, you can also see a lot of help from creating and joining and organizing your classes, create, turn in and track assignments, grade and give feedback. I'll use something that I've been using over the trainings, which makes it much better, called the Spotlight. I believe with this you can be able to see my mouse much better. Where it is, there's communicate with your class, communicate with your guardians. You can even have but this is maybe for primary level, elementary, and middle school, that is high school. We usually don't involve parents in our universities in terms of the learning and to monitor. So G Suite administrators, that is us, the ICT and privacy policies. So today we are focusing on this part: create, turn in and track assignments. We're not going to really do this chronologically the way it is. We're just going to start from somewhere, and I'm going to start from here. Create an assignment. I'll show you something. You can see when you open that article, and I think somebody did an annotation. Let me clear all the drawings. Clear all the drawings. That is why you're seeing those black lines somewhere. You can see these, create an assignment, all these. But you realize one thing: there's different platforms for different help. And you can see this article is for teachers. You can see that. You can be able to see each and every help article will tell you whether it is for students or for teachers, and you'll be able to follow it through. So I'll follow it through for the teachers. And for the teachers, we're going to use, I'll not use the Android version of the help, nor will I use the iPad or iPhone. I'll use the computer because I'm on a computer right now, but it's still pretty much the same. So to create an assignment, there's this whole process here, but obviously since you are already trying, I've already mastered this, so I'll not go through these while still referring. But what we are going to be looking at is how to go and create an assignment. And once you create an assignment, how do you post it to one or more classes or different students? You can also add a category for a grade, also the value of the value is like giving the assignment some certain marks. You realize most of the time, instead of marks, you're going to be using the term points. So that is also something to note. You can also add a deadline, or you can decide not to put it there. And also you'll be able to see how to do topics, which is very important. I don't know how many of us have been able to organize our materials in classrooms using topics. Then attachments, we're going to understand how to do the different types of attachments. There's a file, drive, the YouTube, and the link, but I'm not going to show each and every one of them, but I'm going to highlight how it works. And also these different terminologies, student can view the file, student can edit the file and make a copy for each student. We're going to see that. And something very, very unique about Classroom is originality reports, and even what we call the rubric. Although most of the time I realize that we rarely use the rubric. So I'll do a demo. If you're going to be using a demo account, you can't use the real accounts. So you'll allow me to do a private window to ensure that my sessions remain the same on this other side. So I'll use a private window and log in the way you usually log in. Okay, let me use Classroom instead of mail.google.com. Classroom.google.com. And log you in. Go to Classroom. Let it load. Kindly allow me some 5 minutes. Some 5 minutes to some Zoom issues. Allow me that. So during the 5 minutes, we pause the 5 or so minutes. We'll pause. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, thank you. So what I'm doing currently, I'm logging into 2 demo accounts, one for the student and one for the lecturer, so that we can be able to see the whole interface from both sides, what the student usually sees and what the lecturer sees. So So I've logged in here. When you see the S, do you see the S? That will mean that is a student. And when you mostly see the P, it will be the part-time lecturer because I've used the part-time lecturer demo account. So these are demo accounts we created from the previous trainings. So don't worry about them. And also these are previous uh, classes the students joined from other trainings. Okay, so I believe you know the process of creating a class. So you'll allow me not to uh, take you through that process in the interest of time. You'll allow me not to do that. Uh, yes. So here we are. But let me create one very fast. So I'll not do the so I'll create a class. Then I'll call it. Give me a suggestion. Just allow me to give a fictitious code. I don't remember codes from business. Uh, okay, I can just say maybe say become one. You can see here we don't have a standard, so you can just use the way you want it. Okay, that is basically what you do. I'll create. Allow me to mute myself. Sorry about that. Okay, here I'm back. So we have the student account and the part-time lecturer. So we've created a class. Here it is. Uh, Let me take this shortly. Yes, Eva. Yes. Haina shida, nimekutumia link mpya. Eh, eh. Hiyo link mpya iko sawa. Hebu angalia, just join it. Yes, anga hivi. Uh, okay, let me finish this. So Dixon will also be checking on the waiting room and the admitting people in the waiting room. I'm seeing a number of them there. Then you sort that out. So once you're on a class such as this one, once you're on a class such as this one, yes, Freddy, education itabidi wafanye kwa network conferencing. Juu hatuwezi kuwa na Zoom tatu at the same time, ni mbili tu. Okay. wewe watengenezee, so uko na ability watengenezee washari. Okay, okay. So I think I'm settled now. So I can go to classwork. So you can see, as I said, every time you're going to be using the classroom help, which is this link. Let me open it. So it is this one. I already shared the link. Sorry, I've just gotten a call from the prof. Give me just a minute. My kind apologies. That was the principal calling me, so I could not dismiss the call. Sorry for that. So I'm back. So I'll ask a very interactive question. I'm not going to be now distracted anymore. I'll allow me to even do this, sort this, then I do my video. I hope you can see me well. Let me sort this out. You can see me, right? I hope you can see me well. So I'll ask a very simple question when you're starting out. First, I'll need to, how many people have been having issues with inviting students to their classes? If you ever done an issue, you can tell me, and then I can show you something on how you can do that. Any question, you can share it. Unmute yourself and maybe say that, please. This session is very, very interactive. Very, very interactive. So I'll be asking a lot of questions rather than me talking a lot. So that is how we've been doing it. So is there anyone who has been stuck? Anyone who has been stuck with inviting students to their class? Anyone?
Yes, Kevin. Yeah. Yes, Kevin.
Yes.
I think what Kevin is trying to put across is that those classes with 0 students.
Exactly. Anyone with that issue? Or I'll go to something else. There's no one who has had a class with 0 students. Okay, I'll show you something, and I'll expect that you'll be a bit more interactive. So there are 2 ways you can invite students. You can invite them using the code. The code is usually here. You can see this part. I'll try and zoom in a bit. You can see that. So usually there's this code here. When you click that, you can be able to send. I believe most of you, when we started out, we were using that. And then you can invite students under people. You can see there's stream, classwork, people, and grades. Yeah. So under people, you can invite students here, and then uh, you can be able to type their emails. The easier way is I'll open something on my side here, the Excel. I believe all the CODs and the deans got these. You got these Excel sheet with the student emails. So maybe you can be extracting and sharing with your, especially those lecturers who are having issues with having their students join in. So let me open something here. TUC student emails. Let me open business. And then as I do that, I've opened it. It is opening. Okay, it is loading. So if you know the student, let it load. Let it load. It is loading. Allow it some time to load. So when you have a list of students, let's say I'll start with one student, which we have to do for our demonstration purposes, which is est1.12345.20 at student.taraka.ac.ke. If you have some few students, you can just type them out like that. Then you can click on enter. You'll see it will change to something like that. Then you can click on invite. So are you seeing that? What will happen is the student, when it appears this way, the student has been invited. So you still also have to notify the student that they have to join the class, so that it changes from this status to something else. Let me show you on the side of the student what they see. So let me refresh this. So you'll see, do you see the course that we just created and invited the student demo account to join? So you can see that you can be able to see that. So so you'll be able to ask the student will have to tell them to join, because if they decline, they will not be able to access, and also they'll not be able to change their status here. So it will click on join. Then when I refresh this part, you can see the student has already now joined the class. When I refresh the people side, the people part, do you see something has changed? Somebody can tell me what has changed. You can see what has changed from before the student joined the class and now that the student has joined the class. What has happened? Also, not forgetting you have to do this. I'd forgotten. As a lecturer, you add them as a teacher, as a co-teacher. Then you click on invite. Are you seeing that? Also, Taraka will appear as invited before they can be able to join. I really need interaction, so kindly kindly ensure that you unmute yourself as much as possible. Sorry about that. And unmute yourself as much as possible. I can see we are 19 of us here. So kindly expect a lot of interaction. I'll also be checking the chats. Let me open the chats from this side. So if you're unable to say something, I can check on the chat, because I need this interaction as much as possible. It is very, very hard. Very, very hard it is very, very hard for me to do this without that. So let me check the chat. Okay. Okay, yes, I can see. Nilikuwa nauliza niongeze sauti. I hope I'm audible. If I'm not audible, you can tell me, am I audible or am I not audible? You can also tell me on the chat. Tell me on the chat if you are unable to say something on audio. Okay, are we in the same meeting? Are you hearing me? Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing the feedback now. That is very encouraging. Yes, thank you, Douglas. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, Tetu. I've seen that. Thank you. Thank you. So one thing you realize is the teacher, if even anybody who you've invited to a class and they have not joined the class, you can see that they'll appear under with an invited will be appended to their it will be appended to their names. But once they accept and they join, you'll be able to see the student will not have that invited appended to them. So going on forward, I'll also ask another question. There's something different to these two accounts. You can see we are on the let me do a spotlight again. Usually prefer the spotlight so that you see where my mouse is going. So I go back to mouse, then I do spotlight. Hope you can now see my red thing moving around. Yes, that is the spotlight. So there's something different between this part. You see this part? This is for the part-time lecturer. You can see that. Something different between this part and this part. What is the difference? What is the difference? Somebody can say. I'm also monitoring the chat. You can tell me on the chat. What is the difference between this part for the student and this part for the lecturer? What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference? I'm waiting on your answers. What is the difference between this top part on the part-time lecturer demo account and this part on the student account? Anyone was noted the difference? You can unmute yourself and say. You don't have to type on the chat. You can unmute and just say it aloud. Yes. Yes, Douglas. Yes, Douglas. Are you saying something? I've seen you've unmuted yourself. Yes, I've seen an answer from Tajiri. Thank you so much. There's an addition of what we call the grid.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what is there. So there's the grade part for the lecturer, and the student does not have the grade. Then you'll also see under people. Okay, let me mute myself. I don't know. Okay, I'm not getting feedback. Let me, so that I don't get feedback. I'll don't. Okay, I'm not seeing who is unmuted, but I think they maybe they muted themselves. So you'll see the student will be able to see the teachers, right? You can see they can able to see the teachers, and maybe if they are fellow students, he or she will be able to see that. So as a lecturer, for the purposes of ensuring this class is better, I'll add one more student. And for this case, I'll just add myself as a student. Like that. I'll do that. It has found me. Then I'll invite. Uh-huh. So once I invite myself, uh, I think I've just gotten that notification. So I'll just log into my account. Uh, Let me see whether I can just switch to that account right now. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it is loading. Uh, so once it loads, okay, I have to log in again. Google has a lot of security features. Even if you are in your own computer, you have to just confirm that it is you. Okay, it is loading. We see the invitation. This is how the student always sees the invitation. It is also very important to know how the student sees the invitation. So, okay. So, okay, I think I've seen the invitation here. Okay. So you can see, do you see that? Do you see the invitation? You can see it is here. I can be able to open it and I join. So you can see the lecturer name will appear together with this, together with the email and also the class. And you can see that is why we usually encourage that you name your class in a way that the student will be able to understand it. Don't just give it the code, because maybe students don't remember the code. They remember it's called maybe principles of macroeconomics, not become 112. I'm just giving it a stand to be corrected. I'm sure it isn't 112. I just chose that number uh, as a demonstration. So the student will click join, but if they click join and it doesn't work, most of the time it usually doesn't work. Uh, like from the email side, they usually complain. Let's see what happens. Okay, you'll see that usually rarely works from there. That one I usually prefer it for just notification rather than joining from there, because most of the time usually have several accounts. Okay. It has joined as e-learning. Okay, it has joined as e-learning. Okay, let's go to people. Uh, so what I usually prefer is the student logs in, and then they choose the classroom. For example, the way I'll just do this. If I'm on my kevin2e.taraka account, I just go here, and then I just go to classroom at the bottom. I'll go to classroom at the bottom, so I'll just be able to check. Yes, I'm also seeing as it flows. Let me read a message here. The stream consists lecturer details. In the other part, it consists student uh, student age, the grades. Yes, that is true. Thank you. It is a private message. I will not say who it is. So it must be that. Okay, so it is loading, and it is loading on my e-learning account. So I want to change it to for mine. You'll be able to see this just because I have a lot of accounts. I have a number of different accounts that I run for Taraka. So I usually have to switch accounts. a large number of times. So you'll see that. Let me, as I said also, don't unmute yourself unless you want to say something because you're going to distract the meeting. So you can see I've been asked to join. Do you see this part? Let me bring back my spotlight. Where is my spotlight? Why are you not responding? Okay, it is here. Okay, my spotlight, come back here. Yes, you can see it. Now you can be able to see what I'm seeing. So you click Dixon, you can also check on the waiting room. I can see a number of people are on the waiting room. Okay, then I'll click on join. I'll click on join. As a student, that is what a student sees. So as a student, always advise them to log into the classroom. So they'll be able to see just a place where they can click join while they are still within the classroom product. So Google product, that is. So once the student joins, like that is me who has joined as a student, the lecturer, I'll switch back to this part. The student will be able to see, you can see student initially could just see teachers. When I refresh, the student will be able to see other students apart from himself or herself, the part-time demo, and be able to see the other students. Do you see what happens? The student can be able to see classmates, and can be able to see Kevin too is a classmate. But the lecturer, do you see this? You'll be able to see all the students in the class, the 2 students that we have in our class, and be able to can see that now Tharaka University e-learning is also part of the class. Any questions so far? Any questions so far regarding how to invite students? I was also to demonstrate something using an Excel. I've gotten it here. Do you see? I think we provided this. So do you see that? This is like, let's say I want to invite all these students. I think I want to invite, let's say this is, I think BDST6, I think maybe it's a diploma in procurement or business. So let's say I want to invite all these students. I've gotten it from my COD, or maybe I've gotten the extract. So I copy. I've seen your question, Tajiri. I'll answer it. Okay. Then I'll go to, okay, as a student, you can see a student cannot invite anyone. Do you see that? A student doesn't have the ability to invite anyone. But you can see a lecturer can invite. So here, never invite students as teachers. I hope you know that. So always invite students as students. So you do that, you select, you copy and paste, just copy and paste. You can see something will appear here, add recipients, you do this. And you can see all the students will appear for invitation, then you just click invite. So it is just a paste, click, and another click, and you are done with inviting students. I'll not do this because these are demonstration. So I wouldn't want all these students to be notified to join this class, which is a demo class and not a real class. So I'll cancel that. I hope you've gotten that. There's a question that Tajiri has asked. What for students who don't have an institutional email? Maybe students may mislead you that they don't have an institutional email. But once we got the directive on e-learning, and also it was something that was also given as a directive from the University Council, that every student should have an institutional email. So we got the list from the registrar academics of all the students in the university, and we generated all the institutional emails. So the only students who may actually not have been having the institutional emails are the postgraduate students, because maybe they had not been captured. They had not been captured by the registrar academics, because maybe they just joined, and you know how the modalities of postgraduate learning. So for those, we actually dealt with them on a case-by-case basis. So any student undergraduate, unless maybe it is one or two issues which you can direct to us, and we can just create the account there and then, because they already have a registration number, you can create the account for them and you can invite them now to your class. But basically, uh, there is no two ways to it. Everyone has to have an institutional email. The way you cannot be a student without a registration number. So you really have to have that, and there's no two ways to it. And every student has it. Maybe they just are not aware of it, and that is why we have uh, the standard operating procedures to guide you on how to know and be aware. Yes, if a student or even a lecturer, also that is something else. If a student or a lecturer creates a classroom using their Gmail account, students from the Taraka side will not be able to access a class which has been created on a Gmail account. Same case, a class that has been created within a Taraka account, that when I'm talking about a Taraka account, it is taraka.ac.ke account. If a class has been created using the taraka.ac.ke account, that is pt.taraka or taraka.ac.ke, which is for the different staff groups, uh, students using their personal email cannot join the account. That is how it works. The same way, when you go to the gate at Taraka University College, you have to produce an ID that you are part of the institution. And if you are a visitor, you're given a visitor card. So same case for learning. You know that you cannot go and sit in a class if you are a visitor. So same case, since you cannot join a class, physical class as a visitor, you have to be a student, and you also have to be a lecturer who has been given a unit, and also you have to be a student who has been part of that class, or maybe should be part of that class. That is the same way technologically it works. So we don't recognize personal accounts. We don't recognize personal accounts, and that is how the system is set up. And also, even if you were to do it in any other fashion, I would still not advise that personal, because a personal Gmail account, somebody who is a student from Kibabi University, or maybe Moi University or Kenyatta University, can just try and join using their personal email, and they'll be able to be allowed, just because maybe they be sharing the same name with somebody you know, who you think is a student of Taraka. So you can see we don't want that confusion, and that is why we usually vet. We don't create just institutional accounts for anyone and everyone. You have to know, if you are a student, you have to have a registration number. So there are even some students who are not having registration numbers, and we told them you have to wait and get your registration number before we create an account for you. We cannot create an institutional account without that. And even for a lecturer, you have to be if you are a part-time lecturer, you have to get the confirmation from the COD. And if you are a full-time staff, you already have your details, so that is very easy to sort. So I hope I have answered all the questions regarding that. Have I answered all the questions regarding that? Can we move on? Can we move on to now?
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
we can move on. I think also there is you didn't mention you can also use both. You can also send
Mm-hmm.
the student them code and also invite. So
Yeah.
I think it's more efficient.
True. Depending on what works for your students, you can do both. You can still use the code. You can still use the email. In the same way, if you want to go to Mombasa, you can choose to go by air, by road, by SGR. Same case. They're all roads to the same place. So I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Any question? Any question? Okay, so don't let students mislead you to then say they can't work with anything except their personal email. if a student has any issue with their institutional accounts, direct them to ICT. If a part-time lecturer has an issue with their institutional account, direct them also to us. We'll be able to sort it out. If it is a password issue, we can help you reset and also add your phone as a recovery number so that you don't have to look for ICT every time you forget your password and such. So that is clear.
I mean it, Kevin.
So yes, Dixon. Yes, you can unmute yourself. Maybe you've just muted
Yes.
yourself again. Yes.
Naming of the class.
Mm.
I saw some lecturers naming the class by their names.
True. Let me go to that also and show you that, and also you can tell me more about that, and I can see that is also quite an issue. Okay. I think I can go to the classes here. Classes. These are classes from the whole university. Currently, you have over 300 Google Classrooms, which is a record. Considering we are starting out, no one knew about these 3 months ago. So we are doing very well as Taraka University College. So these are all the classes. You can see when you invite e-learning at taraka.ac.k, we are able to see all your classes here. And there's one thing that has been that issue that I also raised also with Dixon regarding classes, especially from business. Let me check. Yes. Like this one, right? I think you're talking about a class such as this one.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me click on it first, like that, and I'll go to settings, and I will be able to see where the problem came in. So you can see the class name here. For example, the section should have been maybe, I think, is it business administration?
Yes, business administration.
So this is where I should have been. So I'll do this. I take this. This is what was supposed to be here. Then this one, I think, is unnecessary. And this one should be business administration. And the subject is fine, but usually I prefer the subject being directly the same as the class name. So, and even if you have written become 333, I mean, just ensure you say the group here. If it is at the description, don't have to put the description, but it's fine there. Then let's see how it looks like with that. So you can see this class looks better. You can see it is from the business administration. You can see looks like that. So that is how you should name your class. I think we gave you, using the standard operating procedures, usually we gave that thing. I can see you're doing a very nice job, Kangongo, but in all your classes, I think you did that. Don't personalize the Google Classrooms and say it's Kangongo's class, because you also need to have some kind of a uniformity. So obviously everyone will see. When you go to the people, you'll be able to see that you are the lecturer and you have your students here. So so do that. Like a number of, you can see like this one is not a good way of doing a class. You can see student cannot know the code. For example, even in I don't know this class has students. Okay, it doesn't even have a class. What does it have students? You can see this James. I don't know who this is, but I hope I'm not Simwaniki. But this person, I don't know when this class was created, but if I do an audit and I see maybe this class must have been created, maybe no post has been made, but this class must have been created quite a long time ago. So what this person did, they just created the class and maisha ikaendelea ikaishia hapo. So that is quite bad to do. So don't create class and just leave it at that. Invite students, because I cannot see whether if they are invited maybe through a code, and see that it always monitor whether students are joining a class. And also even post classwork, at least they come in and find some classwork there. So always usually take note, and you can see maybe that this person on their report they have said that their Google Classroom has 20 students, and you can see ourselves that it doesn't have even a single student. So and also this also goes to the CODs to do your monitoring, and that is why you ask now lecturers to invite you to their class. Apart from adding e-learning, let them invite you to their class so that you can be able to even monitor using your account much easier. So I think I've answered that. I've answered that. You can say I think this one is part of his. Does it have students? I think it has one student, so that is also a movement. But it's fine. So let me go back. Let me not get carried away with that. We were on classroom help. Uh, so before you go to the class, before you go to the assignments, I would like to ask uh, uh, okay, I've seen a question there, Douglas. Maybe you asked privately because you want me to sort it. You'll side chat me and I'll show you how to archive a class. Side chat me after the training, and I'll sort you out uh, on that issue. So I wanted to ask before we get into the assignments, because we are going to now go onto kind of a marathon. Would you want us to have like a short break? Then we come back. Maybe maybe who never took tea, they can take tea. We come back at past, or we continue. Then maybe we'll have to stop when we are transitioning to the Moodle class administration. What is your take? I want to know your take on it. What is your take on that? You can tell us on Dixon. You can tell me on audio, and the rest you can tell me maybe on the chat. What is your take? Do we take a break? Because I want your concentrations to be at the best when you start on assignments. Well, what is your take? What is your take?
I think we can go on if like
Okay. Okay.
my members can agree on that.
Okay, it's fine. We can continue, but obviously we'll have to take a break between classrooms and Moodle. Maybe I was just
Okay.
checking whether it might be 11, and maybe some of you came in at 9 and had not taken tea, or maybe something of that sort. I can continue. Yes, I can see two. Unless there is any other person who has an issue, I can continue. I wanted to confirm that. I wouldn't want to take through participants that they are not in this. Okay, thank you. I've
I think
seen
I think
the feedback.
also,
I've seen
also
it.
Kevin,
Yes, yes.
there is a lot of background some
Noise.
communication.
Oh, okay. Let me sort that out. Okay. I think maybe it is this class that I think was continuing. I think this link. Okay. I think if I can, let me see if I can leave. I can mute this. Is it better?
Yeah, you're okay. It's okay now.
Okay, thank you. It was running on the background on my phone on the other side. I was on my other device. Sorry, I didn't notice. I'm having my headphones on, so I can't realize that there's a lot of noise uh, there. Uh, So I've sorted that. Thank you. Thank you for giving me feedback. Usually as a host, it's usually hard to know what is going on the other side of the receiver. So thanks for the feedback. Okay, so I'm logged in. Let me take back my spotlight. I can see it is stuck somewhere. Okay, annotate. Annotate. Yes, it's back. Okay, so when you do an assignments are usually under classwork. I believe you already are familiar with these. So I'm going to classwork on both accounts. That is the student, the part-time lecturer account and the student account. And I'll still ask questions. So kindly let's be interactive. The way you are, I can also check on the chat and I'll be able to see anything that is going on the chat. So there's a difference between the classwork section for a student. This part where I'm circling, I'm trying to move in a bit of a circle. This part, this part, this part, this part, and this part. What is the difference between the two classwork sections? The classwork section for a student and the classwork section for a lecturer. What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference? Am I audible? I'm waiting.
Yes, you're audible. Can you show that to the first one for the student?
Okay, this is there for the lecturer, and for the student,
Yes.
this is how it looks like. What is the difference?
I think it's very clear. The student can only view the work, but on the other side of the lecture, you can see you have that authority to create, to you can go, I mean, let's go back.
Yes, can
Yes,
create.
you can assign you, so a student cannot create assignment. You
Mm.
can also the grades are
Although the they're
I
not there.
think I think it's clear. So the student has no authority to assign other students.
Mm. That is true. That is true. That is true. What you just said, Chair. And also another thing that you really need to note when also this is happening is also, Chair, I'm directing you to the waiting room. Check that. There is something that is also very important for you to note. There's a question that students have been asking, and that is why you also so it informs this training is and even lecturers, they are of their opinion that when you post an assignment, or maybe when you send back your assignment on Classroom, other students can be able to see what you posted, and maybe they can copy that. They will copy that, and when they copy that, they'll be able to resubmit. And also there's that other issue where lecturers found it is much easier for them to get it on their emails, on WhatsApp, which is quite inefficient as you go on, and you'll be able to see. So so yes, I've seen yes, earlier you've seen assignment section. Yes, there's there. Okay, there's really where you create an assignment. Then as we get into this, I don't know, maybe there's somebody trying to join by 3 accounts. Let me just admit one and remove the others. Let me remove that. Let me remove that. Let me see, will they be able to join? Okay. So there we are. There we are. So when you, something very important is you can do an assignment, a quiz assignment, a question, a material. This is under classwork, reuse, post, and a topic. I believe most of you have I've been using the material part. If you've been using the material, you can raise your hand. I hope you know where the raise your hand feature is. If you've been using the material part, you can use your raise your hand. Personally, I don't have the raise your hand because I'm the host. You can raise your hand that you have been using the material. The material section is this part. Or you can say yes on the chat if you've been using the material part, the material to be able to add documents. Thanks, Eliab. I've seen your hand. Thank you. I've seen you raise your hand. Hunters to know how to use the raise your hand feature up here. I've seen somebody else also has raised up their hand. Yes, I'm seeing. Yes, Kangongo, I've seen you've use that. I want us everyone to be in this. I want to ensure everyone is with us in this training. Thanks, Itene. I've seen you've raised your hand. Raise your hand if you've been able to use the material. If you've not been able, you can also say why. You can tell us what has been the issue with submitting. Yes, state to have seen. I've also been seeing you've been very active. I've been seeing your notifications on the e-learning. Thank you. Douglas, thank you. I've seen you raised your hand. Okay. What about Beatrice? What about Charles Gikunda? What about Shimba? Or it's Simba? I'll skip Dean because I'm sure he obviously uses it. What about Nelson? What about Nancy? Yes, okay, thank you, Charles. I'll talk on this. That is what I want to know. What about Tajiri? I think I've been seeing your notifications. You've been doing a lot on classrooms. So I'm waiting also you to raise your hand. And Nancy, I don't know whether Nancy, I think is it Nancy? You have seen that. Yes, Viona, you've raised your hand. Been able to do that. I'm also checking that. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yes, so let me lower all the hands just in case I would want you to raise your hand at a future juncture. So I'll do this. Yes, okay. So so you can be able to create, let me get my spotlight back. Can be able to create this material. When you do material, you can just type the title. Maybe let's say it's introductory notes. I'm just giving a demonstration, so you have to give a description that fits. You can give it a description if you want to. Then you can add a file. Most of the time, usually do a file. I'll explain this further under assignment, so let me not talk about it here because it is not part of that. Then you can upload. You can select files from your device. Then you can choose if it is notes. Personally, I'm using computer notes, so I can just see, maybe let's say is this one, intro presentation. Let's see, that is the one. Then I'll upload. Then you just choose upload. So the material will appear. You can see, and also you can be able to share it within a topic. If you don't have a topic, you can create it. I'll show you about topics going forward. So once you have seen that is fine, you can be able to schedule. You can decide if you don't want to post now, you can be able to post it later on. You can be able to save it as a draft first if you are going to prepare something more, or you can just post it immediately. When you post it, students will be able to get a notification that the lecturer has added new material. So do you see that? It will appear on this side. And when I refresh this side under classwork, once I do that, I will be able to I will be able to I will be able to see the notes, the introductory notes. I hope you've been able to see that. So that is how you do material. It is as simple as that. I hope that has been very helpful to you, Charles, and the rest who have maybe not been able to use the material feature. And also, a student gets a notification. They also get an email notification that material has been added. I think I can check on mine. Can I do this? Okay, I think I can check it from here. I can go to my inbox, allow me to do this, update. I'll be able to see it, I think, under update. I'll be able to see that once I get the notification. You can see, do you see it has appeared? New material, introductory notes, and it is under classroom. Part-time demo, posted a new material, that. So always, if your students have a habit of checking their institutional emails, anytime you post a material, you don't even need to really notify them. They'll be able to see that. Do you see that? Even the same appears also on the institutional account as a student. So that is the material part. Allow me to go back to this side. Yes. Okay. So another thing is I need to show you the difference between assignment and a quiz assignment. So a quiz assignment is basically an assignment for which you can be able to give immediate feedback without your intervention. Let's say you do a multiple choice quiz. You can see at the end of the quiz, the student can be able to be told by the system how many questions they got right, how many questions they got wrong, or such, and they can be able to get immediate feedback using a quiz. You can also use a quiz assignment to be able to send questions in form of in the format of a Google form. So even if it is deferred feedback where you'll be able to mark it first before you give it back to them, the students, you can use the form feature. So that is the quiz assignment. For the assignment, it is basically an assignment which you have the leeway to use Google Docs to allow students to upload pictures, to upload PDFs, to upload any material that they've been able to generate while they were doing the assignment. I'll demonstrate the two so that you get to understand. I'll start obviously with quiz assignment, which is much easier to check on. So you can see when you do quiz assignment, it starts creating a blank form, a blank Google form called blank quiz. Do you see that? Do you see that? Kindly confirm that you are seeing that and that I'm audible enough. A yes on the public chat will be fine. Do you see that? Yes, Eliab, thank you. Thanks, Douglas. Thanks, Tajiri. Thanks, Viona. I think I'm clear. Yes. So as I said, a quiz assignment creates a Google form. Thanks, Tetu. Thanks, Matt Kangongo. Thank you. I've seen your feedback, which is very important and very valuable to me. Thank you so much. So, okay, I don't want to appear as if I have domain knowledge in business, and I don't want to really be also wrong during this, because we are also recording this and also we'll be sharing it to other lecturers and other people who have not been able to be part of the meeting. So I'll ask Dixon to help me create some 1 or 2 questions on this side of principles of macroeconomics. So you better start thinking about that as you go on. So I'll just say introductory notes, introductory quiz. Okay, and then also it is obviously introductory demo quiz. I have to say demo because we are doing a demo. It is not a true. And always have a habit of giving a students instructions. Always guide them on how they will answer, or submit the assignment or the form or the kind of assignment that you've created. That way, it also helps them be more confident in what they are going to do, and also allow them to not just get confused. Are they going to answer the question, or are they going to learn the platform? And do they, another thing is, yes, you have decided that you're going to train some representative students on some things, but still we cannot train the whole university online on using these platforms. So you are like TOTs. We are training you to train your students and also to train others. So so these are TOT. So going on, so I'll just do demo instructions. I'll not try and be too witty about it. Okay, a good demonstration will be open the Google form attached and answer the questions within. That is a very good instruction. Apart from obviously the questions within them, or you don't put the questions here, don't put the questions here. Put the questions within the forms. This is not where you put the questions. So before we go to the form itself, there's the add or create, and I'll still mention about it on the normal assignment, not the quiz assignment. But let me just mention about add right now. So you can add 4 kinds of materials to support the quiz, to support maybe the student answering. Maybe let's say you can remind them of a file or a document that you are going to, that is important in enabling them to answer. Maybe it's a quiz where somebody is supposed to watch a video and be able to say and how many concepts they've been able to grasp within that video. So you can be able to add the YouTube video. You can be able to add a drive from a file from your Google Drive. You can add a link to a certain website where you're somebody is supposed to maybe get some knowledge from that link or from that site. So I'll do something interesting, which I usually love doing right from yesterday, is YouTube. So I'll say, okay, this is very nice. Let me just say, I hope there's something on YouTube on it. Yes, you can see there's something. There's a 30-minute video here. There's a 30-minute video here. And then there's another one called Principles of Macroeconomics Class 1. There's a number of different courses here, which you can tell somebody. You can see there's a question on there's a lecture on Keynesian model. I think that's a lecture 26, Introduction to Economics, which is a lecture 1 or 2. So let me see. I think this one looks awesome for use. That is introduction. So I can say, let me just use that one. Obviously, maybe if you have also, and also another thing maybe I have not mentioned over the training, as a lecturer, you have the ability to develop material, like let's say YouTube content. Your institutional account allows you to have a channel on YouTube. So create content. You might need it sooner rather than later. I can imagine just telling people, go to YouTube and search my name and maybe search this, and you'll be able to see a lot of things in this format. So same case, we are also going to also improve our e-learning as we go on and add more and more kinds of deliverables to our student fraternity. Okay, I'll add that. So you can see it appears as a video here to support I can maybe add another material if it's a PDF, but allow me not to do anything more. So, and then once I add the video, I'll go to the form to get a question to add there. So once it's written blank quiz, obviously remember to rename it and call it maybe, especially give it allow me to cancel the tours and supposed to be here, principles of macroeconomics. Introductory quiz. So the student can be able to really understand and see and be confident that they're answering the right thing. Then maybe there's a question. Maybe now here is when I'll call upon Dixon to give me one question, a true false question, a very simple true false question that I can put as a statement here. Dixon, give me a question, especially that is introduction to economics, maybe or something.
I think we can use elasticity of demand.
Yes.
Some various factors affect elasticity of demand.
So I can say.
So we can ask.
Yes.
The question I've texted you on the chat.
Okay, you've given it. Okay. Let me check.
We have the answers, and we can.
Kindly send it on the Zoom chat. Have you sent it on WhatsApp or where? I'm not on WhatsApp. I'm not on my phone.
Zoom.
On
yes.
Zoom. Wow, how have I missed it? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Okay, I'm not seeing it. No, nor privately nor publicly. I've not seen it even privately. Even privately, I've not seen it. Check whether either you drafted it and you didn't send it. I've not seen it either privately or publicly. Yes, you can see it and you can paste it, and maybe I can, because once you paste it, I put it there, I'll be able to just paste it. Yes, you can continue as you can paste it and as you also describe it as you were doing it before.
Okay.
Some 1 or 2 questions will be fine.
Okay.
So as Dixon sorts that out, okay. I was muted. Were you hearing me? Yes. Thank you, Dean Simiu. So I can just do this. I can select that and copy that question I've gotten and paste it there. So I believe this kind of a question. Okay, it is pasting something else. Okay, let me see. Can't I? Can't copy from this part. Okay, let me just type it very fast. That's a very simple stop. Explain. Affects demand.
Essential products.
It's for essential products. Thank you for helping me read that product. Holding other factors constant. Holding other factors constant. Think that. So then also you can see he has also given us the marks. So this is where you put the marks. Answer key. Do you see that? You can be able to say it is going to be 2 marks. As I said, the system, they usually prefer using points rather than, and on this side of the world, we usually say marks. You can add an answer feedback if you want to, but since this is an open question, like a long answer question, or maybe you can choose if it is a paragraph or a short answer. So I think this looks more of like a paragraph, a bit of a paragraph. And obviously we'll give it as a required question. A student must answer the question so that they can submit the assignment. You don't have to redo all this. You can just copy. Then you can change this. You just change the question. If you're going to use it as multiple choice, you can have it that. Dixon, you don't have the other question. You're still not gotten your question that you had put.
I text.
Yes, just tell me. I dictate it to me. I'll type it very fast. I think I'm good at typing fast.
Okay. Let me read it. The following factors affect the elasticity of demand of a commodity. State whether it's true or false. One. I think I can give 2 examples. Two true and 2 maybe false. We can say 1 maybe income level.
So let me just do multiple choice, and I do this income level here.
We can
let me
maybe
admit
use
income level. Income level. So income level. Okay. Income level.
Maybe you can use maybe
and something else that is false. Something else that is false.
False. Maybe you can use maybe the place where somebody stays.
Place of stay.
You can use even that.
Like that.
Maybe you can use yeah.
So then we go to another question that is so in this one, income level is true.
We can
right?
yeah.
So we can do another one that is false, and then you say okay. I think this question we need to relook it. We need to relook it in this manner. We need to say income level. Income level affects the demand of a commodity. Then we do this. You just say. Then you. Okay. Sorry. Am I correct? Am I doing the right way? Then I just do this.
Elasticity. Let me go back to your screen.
Income level affects the elasticity of demand of a commodity. Then you can go to something else. Let me just remove this one. That is how a true false question is basically set up. Then I go to the false. But before we do the second one, we need to go to the answer key. So I think maybe it's maybe 1 point. You can just say 1 point, and then you can also you can see choose correct answers. So you can see the correct answer is what? I think this one is true, right? So you tick it here. So the system will be able to just know that when the students chooses the first one, they are correct. Then you can say, then here you can say place of stay affects elasticity of demand of a commodity. Then obviously I go to the answer key. I choose the correct answer as false.
Maybe false.
And then the point is 1 point. Then I just do it. So this is like our quiz is, I think, 4 marks. So I think I'll allow me to add this to be 3 marks so that we can have it better. So let's say put that as 3 points. So we have you can see it here, it is 5 points, which is much fine. Then we obviously give it a name, the same name we give it here. It's important we give it here. Okay, we give it here. I paste that. So once you go back to our, now we are done with our questions within the form. When I go back to here, I'll just see if I created topics, I'll be able to say it is within introduction to economics. So maybe let's say that thing has been mentioned within this video, all the questions. So obviously this part also has to be the same. It has to be 5 points, right? You can give it a deadline. Let's say you can say it is within a week. So next week on Thursday at midnight, it would have been fine. They should have submitted. There's no need of enabling originality reports because I'll explain it later on in the other kind of an assignment. So allow me not to talk about it now. Then I click on assign. Do you see that? I think you'll wonder why is it called blank quiz yet. When I just click assign, it will refresh how it looks like. it will refresh it because it is still referencing it from this other side, and you can see all changes have been saved. All changes have been saved. So when I click assign, let's see what happens. Do you see what has happened? So we have our assignment here. Demo instructions, open the Google, it has the instructions there. Introductory demo quiz, there's the video, it is already there, it is already telling the student how many minutes that video is. And then there's the Google form where the student has been told to. And you know, in our class, we are having 2 students. So 2 students have been given the assignment. When you see assigned, it means that the student has been notified that there's an assignment within the class. We can confirm that on my account. Don't know whether I'm on here, yes, here. Let me refresh my updates section. Do you see what has happened? Here, do you see? New assignment.
Yes.
Introductory demo quiz. Do you see that? So the student has already been notified that there's a quiz that has been given to them. Going back to our quiz here. So turned in, what turned in means is the student has given the assignment, but maybe it has not yet been marked. You'll see once we mark that assignment, you'll see it as graded. Graded means that it has been assigned. I mean, it has been marked, and the student has been given a grade or a mark for it. Graded is what the term that is used. Okay. What else? You can preview. What you've done. You can just check on it. You can see how it looks like. You can see that is how explain how price affects. Let's say there's something they're going to answer there, then they can just click on submit. So you can see, and you can see it is fine. So that is the quiz. Going back, they'll be able to check, confirm that the video works. Let's check on it.
Okay, let's get started today. Today what we'd like to do is we want to basically just introduce some of the building blocks of economics, some of the basic concepts that we'll run into throughout the semester. And we also want to talk.
So you can see it works, right? So very nice. So you can imagine if it is you who you have a video on YouTube and you've already given the class. So you can see it is a very nice place where you can even share a class that you already taught, so they don't have an issue. So once that is done, I think you'll allow me to also demonstrate the other assignment so that we now start doing it and marking it and seeing the marking of it. So I just finish up with showing how assignments are created. Then we see how assignments are attempted and submitted. Then we finish up with how assignments are marked. Would that be fine with you?
Okay.
That is fine, right? Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the other. So you can see we already have, and again, as I've said, it is very important to create topics. Topics organize your work in a much better way. So let me say introduction to economics. Okay, you can see. So once I have the topic here, I can just do a drag and drop. I drag my notes, I put it within economics. I drag the quiz, I put it within economics. Do you see that what happens? And I can even close the quiz there, so it appears there. Then I can create another topic. I saw something on when I was searching. I saw something like Keynesian. Is it? Keynesian model, something of the sort. Allow the typo. Kindly allow the typo. Such of that sort. So create a topic on that. So if you don't want Keynesian to be at the top, you can just drag it and put it somewhere there. And then you just organize your work in a very nice manner, and you can see it helps the student understand where they are and in a chronological fashion, the way you usually have the course outline. So if you have materials on the Keynesian model and the assignments and anything else, you can put it there, right? Yes, so that is how you do topics. That is how you do topics. I think I've now touched on a topic. I've already touched on the quiz assignment. I've already touched on material. If you want to reuse a post, that means you want to reuse something that has been done before, you can do that. And then maybe you choose, okay, you use a post that you did on this one. Then you say, okay, I'll do that, create new copies of all attachments, blah, blah, blah. I can reuse another post that I did before. So that is what works in reuse post. Just instead of you just typing it from scratch, you can reuse something that was done before. Then question is just where you want to give a very quick question, like let's say, what is the elasticity of demand? That. Then you just ask and you say, okay, this is a question, I'll give you 5 marks if you answer just because you've attended the class and you're here. Then you just give it within the introduction to economics topic. And you say it should be due maybe they say tomorrow. A very quick question. That's where you just want to do a quick question. Then you click on ask. So that is a question. A question is just something, you can see it is here. It has already appeared, and obviously I'll always ensure that questions and assignments come after the materials. That is a very good best practice. So same case, the notification will go to the student, they'll get it. That is that. Allow me to take a sip. Okay. We are on now assignment. Any questions so far? I think I've taught a lot and I've not gotten questions from you. Is there any questions so far? Before I go to assignment, any question? Any question? You can unmute yourself and ask a question on what we've covered. That is the quiz assignment. And now you add a video or anything. Any question? Any question? Is it clear? Somebody, yes,
Kevin.
Yes, Dean. Yes, Dean.
Thank you for good presentation. Maybe my question is on either quiz or a question or assignment. When you send to the student and the student have turned in, you've marked, so it means it's graded. Now, in terms of grading, does it generate a list and the grade so that you can even transfer? Because this becomes part of the continuous assessment. When the students come back, when they do the final exam, you can still use some of this quiz as part of the continuous assessment. And in fact, that's the way you can make the students, most of them are having difficulties in getting in, to be motivated to come in because they realize something is being done. It can be even a question of 2 marks. It can be a question of 3 marks or even 1 mark. It matters a lot. So does it generate a list with the marks so that you can transfer it somewhere? Then when the students come, you can be able to, it can be part of the coursework. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let me answer you also so that I don't forget that. You'll allow me to use my class so that I can show you how that is done. because we don't expect to get feedback on these, because they are yet to be done by the students, the demo student and myself. So I've seen your question, Momanyi. I'll also come to that. So let me start by going to my account. My account when as a lecturer, not the trainer. So where is my account? Don't worry, I've opened a lot of things, so I'm trying my best to see. Okay. I think it is this one. Yes. I want to show you how you export. I have a class that did my assignment, class I think of around, okay, this is e-learning. Oh, this is e-learning. This is e-learning. Now let me go to my account. Okay. Okay. So you can see, when I can see as a student, I can see the question that was asked. I can just go direct and maybe get details. But let me go to the classes I teach. Okay. I think I can use this one. I think there's some grades I checked. Some did it. I think some are doing it. Some 3 or 4 did it. So I want to go to people, classwork. Okay. You can see these are my classes. I've prepared my notes. I want to go to an assignment such as, let me choose the earliest assignment. Okay. This one is due June 10th. Let me check on this one. 2 turned in the assignment, and can check. This is also something about the case study. So you can see, I see things 2 turned in. I think I not returned that one. I think there's one that I marked. Let me check on one that I've marked. And let me check on another. Let me check on another class that I think I've been marking so much on this one first, because this one is more of a theoretical rather than a practical one. So I think I can check on the classwork, and I can check on the assignment. You can see I graded 3 students here, so I can check on this. If there's anything, I can import. Do you see this part? Okay, let me get my spotlight running again. I think it hung somewhere in the way. I think this, you can see this. Do you see this part? Copy all grades to Google Sheets, download all grades as a CSV. Do you see that? So you can say download all grades as a CSV. And I can open it. Let me just go directly to opening it. Let it load. Let it load. It is loading. Is it loaded on this side or on that side? But you totally understand that is the sheet. Let me just export it to Google Sheets so that you can see. I don't have to open it. I think it is now loading. It's taking time. I think I've opened a number of things. Let it load. It is still responding. I think it hasn't opened the document yet. I think is it here? So I think this is what you're asking for, Dean, right?
It's correct. It is correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kevin, I can see it's correct even in the screen. In the screen you were before you started. You started opening up. You could still see those 3 students with their marks.
Yes, but obviously it is much better. It is much better to get it in this format, so that even if you want to create a grade sheet or a mark sheet for your cards or something which you're going to also combine with your final exam, you can see it really helps you with that, with creating such. So you can see, I can see all the 3 students I graded, they are here. The 2 students who have not done, I can see they are in blank. I can see this assignment is yet to be having grades. I think maybe it's because I've not marked it and such. So basically that is how it works. That is how you can get it, and you can even export it to a Google Sheet. You don't have to download it. You can still copy all grades to Google Sheet and maybe have it on your drive, and you save it as you go on. So unless there's any question, okay, on the same, on how you do the exporting of grades, the same thing. You can see it is also here. You get the grades, and you can even see more highlights on it. Yes, you can see that. Then you can be able to do that. You can be able to see all the grades. So again, I'll go back to the question that Nelson had asked. I hopefully I've already answered Dean on that. I'll go back to the question. Do you attach a case study in the same way you attach a video to a quiz? Yes, you can do that. Let me, for the purposes of maintaining this, I think I'll do that, and I'll do that. Unless there's a question, and okay, I'll ask maybe Momanyi if you want to add more meat to your question, you can, but you can do that. Let me show you a case study that I give to students here. I think where is it? Handy, yeah. So this is an IT technical support. Okay. Where are we? Classwork. You can see this is a case study. I've given them a case study on how to handling customers. Okay, it was really not really much of a case study. It was like a link, then they can create a case study from it. So you can see what they did. They were supposed to read a content. You can see that they are supposed to read some content here. To read these customer complaints, then they can create a write-up on it. You can see that, and then they can be able to highlight the importance of angry customers, the do's and don'ts one should consider in dealing with angry customers, and such. So the same way you do a case study, you can just add it as a material. Let's say it's a certain material. So you create the material first, then you can add it, or you can add it within assignment, which I'm coming to right now. So you can add the case study as a supporting to your assignment that you want to give. Then you tell them to check on that case study, whether it is a video one, whether it is in video, whether it is it is a newspaper article, whether it is a book chapter. You can do that. You can do that, especially when you come to this part. So as I said, you'll allow me not to use my live accounts, my live classes. I'll go back to the demo ones where we were. Then you can do that. We can do the assignment. Do we do that? Can we do that? Can we now go to assignment? I'm waiting for your feedback. Unless there's any other question, maybe somebody wanted to ask. I think we can go on. Cynthia? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I've seen your feedback. I'll go on. So I think we've realized the difference between an assignment and a quiz assignment. You realize something different. When I clicked on create assignment, something different happened. Do you see there was no form being created, there's no form being blank quiz form that was created automatically here. So we actually have to do the creation of everything ourselves. So an assignment is like a blank template. And when you're doing quizzes, I would advise you to just choose the quiz assignment directly. Don't start from blank. It creates a lot of issues because the system does not configure the assignment as a quiz one. If you just, even if you create a form here, it usually has some issues with that. So just, if you want to do a quiz assignment, just do it as a quiz assignment rather than starting it from a blank template such as this one. So we'll go a bit faster on this. So let's say it is introductory non-quiz demo assignment. I'm just giving it a description that you can understand. It is a non-quiz so that when we go back, you'll be able to see that that coming through. So so once you do a demo, as I said, best practice best practice is demo, instructions, then follow the instructions. I'm just follow the instructions given depending on the assignment, because this one is a bit more open-ended. Follow the instructions given below. So that. Forgive my typos. Okay. Just wants me to do it manually. Okay. So you can see, I think I already explained what add does. It is just the same thing. You can add something to support the assignment. And if it is a case study, you can add it as a file. Then you can add the document. You can add the newspaper article or even the link. You can add it, even the link to that case study. And then you can add it as a link here, and then you can be able to. Then, so this is where you create what the student will refer to most of the time. Then when you go to create, so you'll allow me to do the same thing as I did the other one. So allow me to just use again a YouTube. Then I'll say elasticity of demand. I'm doing a YouTube search from here. Then I can just do that. Okay, I think I can see this one looks much better from Khan Academy. Then I can do that. That will do that. Then when you create this time, we usually create most of the time a document, a Google Doc. This is where the students will be able. It's like the way you give a student an answer sheet, answer booklet to where they are going to write their assignment answers on. So so you'll do this. You'll go to Doc. When it will start creating the document, so let me sort something there for 14. So it is creating it as it is still on the process of creating. Allow it to finish. You can see it is still loading here. Has it loaded? I think it has finished. So the first thing you do is obviously give this document. You see it is written untitled document. Make sure you give it a name that student can easily understand. To rename, you just click here and you say, what did this give it the assignment to be the question? Introductory demo assignment. I can just copy this instead of typing it. I can just paste it here. Then I say answer area so that is it appearing? So it has appeared answer area. Allow me to just click from side to side. I'm confirming that it is doing the same thing there. So here is where the students will be able to answer. Enter your answer, type your answers here. Just can even add an instruction here, type your answers below. And you can just do that, maybe just to give them an idea of what will happen. Or you can even put now the questions here. Let's say you put the questions, like the way you say, like there are some questions you can say, like the one that we had here. I can just put it here with the one that was open-ended. This one that was open-ended. I think I can do this. I can copy that. I can paste it here and add it there. So so let me do this. Okay, it is loading. Allow me to take a certain call here from the ones who are doing different. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. So thanks for sitting in. So there are three options. Do you see those three options there on the file? So I'd like us to discuss on it. I'd like us to discuss on it. Student can view the file. What that means is that they cannot do anything to that document. First of all, I hope I'm being heard. Kindly confirm that I'm being heard. I might be talking and I'm alone. Are you hearing me? Okay, thank you. Thank you for holding in. You don't worry, you're just bummed up with some bit of things that we need to sort out for the students who are joining us. That is the COSIPs, and maybe some were asking some issues there, but that is why to take that. So yes, here we were. So there are three options. That is, the student can view the file, student can edit the file, and make a copy for each student. So student can view the file just means they can just see and not do anything to it. They can just not do anything to the document. You don't want that. Since it is an answer area, you can choose student can edit the file or make a copy for each student. So what is the difference? When you say student can edit the file, you may be giving a group work and you want students to work in twos. So you can say student can edit the file, then you assign that unit to 2 students. If you're having 20 students, you can divide it into 2 students. So you just do a copy of the assignments, then you just give it in 2s or 3s or 4s. I believe you usually do that, usually give some group assignments. That is how you do it. But if you want it to be an individual assignment, you say make a copy for each student. Is my screen back? I think checking on that, and I'm not seeing whether it has appeared. Are you seeing that? Make a copy for each student? Yes, I think you see that. So what a make a copy for each student does, it creates a new copy for each and every student. So we'll say like this question maybe is around 10 marks, depending on it, or even 5 marks, depending on how you want. You can give it a deadline. As I said, you can give it a 1 week, depending, and also make sure you consult and maybe check on how you also consider the constraints and also the complexity of the question when you're giving the deadline. Then you obviously put it within a topic that is related. A rubric is usually a guide that gives the students to understand how you will award their marks, so that you say like, if you do this is the minimum for you to get 1 mark. This is the minimum for you to get 2 marks. This is the minimum to get, if it is a 10-mark question, you say like, for you to get between 8 and 10, you should have done this and that and that. So it usually mostly used to, especially abroad, but it is obviously important. If you want to, you can also put a rubric to there. So originality reports. And again, I hope you are also saving on our friends bundles by also ensuring our videos are off. Let me only be the one with the video on. Okay, yes, I've seen that. We are sorted. So let me do a search here of our numbers. So it is sorted. Once you're done, you click assign. Okay, I had not talked about originality reports, so I'll go back to it. I'll edit it and search on it. Yes, you're here? Okay, somebody has unmuted themselves. Okay, let me mute the person like that. Okay, sorted. So we are here. So once you are done with the demo, I've said I'll edit it so that I explain originality reports. Let me edit it again. So I'm back to where we were. and I've seen your question, Tajiri. I'll go back to your question. Don't worry about that. So let me do a quick search here. Allow me to do a quick search here. Okay, I'm doing a quick search for something. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, go. Don't worry, you might be wondering what is happening, and nothing is happening on your screen. I'm on another screen doing another search. 10, 11, 10, 32, 8. Let me stop the video. Okay. It is sorting it itself. Okay, thank you for that. Here. In another search, one more search, then I'm done. 9, 2, 0, 5, 10, 8. Okay, thanks for holding on. I was just sorting some issues there. So I'm back. So once you go back, there's something called the originality reports. When you enable originality reports, you have a limit of 3 originality reports per 3 assignments, 3 originality reports on assignments. So that means you can only enable originality reports on 3 assignments in a class, not more than 3 assignments. So always use that feature sparingly. Always use it when you are required to, or maybe when you see you really require your students to give you unique reports, something that they've just not plagiarized over the internet. So only enable it when you are sure that students may be having the affinity to let's say copy from the internet, then you can get. So I'll enable it on this assignment so that you see how it works. Then I'll click on save later. Then we are back. So on this, then we are here. I hope you already remember the terminology on turned in and assigned. So assigned means that the students have been given the assignment by the lecturer, and the system has already given them those notifications and also added them to the accounts, the assignment. Turned in means the student has submitted the assignment. So we look at it from the student demo side. Go back to here, and I see it here now. So this is the assignment. I can decide to view assignment so that I can do it. So I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. Do you see what I'm seeing? You can see this is how the student looks at the assignment. This is how it looks at it. So a student can be able to post a comment for the whole class to see, maybe here. Then the student can say thanks to the whole class. And maybe let's say maybe the student did not see the due date, then can say thanks, when is deadline? Can see maybe the student has not seen this part, can see. So I usually prefer best practice is that if you have an assignment, if like it is this one, you put the due date here, and just give it a very simple due. When was it on that other side? 25th June. So I can just say due 25 June, like that. Do you see that? Then I do save that. So when I refresh this, it, this is on the student side. I hope you realize that. You can see it from, let me do my spotlight. Spotlight. You can see from this part, it is that, and you can see, okay, it has appeared, and you can see it is the due 25th June is conspicuous. You can be able to easily see it is here, and you can just write it in full if you want to. You can write the time and that. So this is how the student, this is where the student is submitting the assignment. Then there's a question I think I'll answer as you go on. That is what happens when the student submits the assignment late. So I'll simulate that. I'll simulate that using this assignment. So let me say I put this assignment deadline to be 12/23 today. It is obviously totally infeasible, but let me just try that. Today at let's say today at 12:25 p.m. So you can see, okay, this is tomorrow. When is today? Today is on Wednesday. Okay. I don't know why it's showing me that. So you can see it is due in the next 2 minutes. Then I can say save. So by the time the student will be finishing to submit this assignment, which is this introduction to introductory non-quiz demo assignment, you'll realize something. Is something you'll realize here. Let me close this so that it doesn't stop confusing me. And obviously I have to change. Maybe I'll have to change. I'll just say, you can see it is due 12:25 p.m. is in an hour. And you can see you can run originality reports. A student can run an originality report, and a lecturer can also get their own kind of an originality report. So let's go to the document that the student needs to answer. And most of the time the students will be using a smartphone, right? To let's say maybe to actually access the assignment. So I want to show you that. And allow me to use my tablet on that. So I'll do a screen share. Okay. I want to see on my side how it looks like. Okay, are you seeing my tablet screen? Can you confirm? Do you see that? Think you can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so so I've decided to just share my Android because that is where most students are using, and most of the time I always prefer students to have the classroom app. You can see it here. I've just selected it there. So I'll just open it again. So it is here, classroom. So when you open classroom, I hope I'm on my account as a student. Which account am I on? Yes, I'm on the right account. Okay, as this account, I can see the demo class. If maybe you missed it, it is here. I've gone back. The one that has what is elasticity of demand. You can see it is that one, and I'm joining it as a student. And you can see I can see the newest assignment. You can see it is here, and you can see your work is missing. Do you see that? It has already shown the student that you haven't given back your assignment. So I can just open my and you can see. Do you see something? Do you see that app that I just slide on it? Let me just do this. Annotate. Do you see that part? I think you're seeing it that, right? You're seeing this part, right? You're seeing it, right? You kindly confirm. I want your attendance. Your class, you have been the most silent training group I've done over the last 3 days. Are you seeing that part?
Yeah, tunaona nini Kevin.
Okay, thank you. I need to confirm so that it helps me know what I'm going to say next. So if you're seeing that part, you can also see when you tap on it, it changes to, let me do an annotation. They can do a highlighter. You can see that it changes to something else there, and you can be able to see that. So the student can be able to open this part, and once they open this part, they'll be able to now answer the questions from there. They can even also add a private comment that will go to the lecturer to be able to ask a question that and something they don't understand. So this is why the student can be able to ask something, basically. So that is that. So let me go to the document where the student has to answer, and you can see something. If you see something here, you'll see that the student's name. You see the student's name has been appended onto the document. So every student's name can be able to see that, and because we selected make a copy. When we did make a copy, we were able to do that, and every student has their own copy, and you can see the questions are there. So the student can be able to edit from here. I don't know if they need another application to do that. Okay. I think I need to do text. Yeah, so the student can type something here. I don't know that they can change I don't know that this is an annotation or something that is going to work on the document, but yes. So maybe I can say test answers. So the answers to the questions are here. 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. The question, the answers that the student has given on that case. So once I've done, say save, And you can see I'm doing all this on my phone, and then I can go back to where I was. Then I can now click as a student. I can see hand in. You can see I think it has come in as a PDF. Then I can let's say hand in. If the other one if the other one is not having an answer, the other one I can leave it alone. So I can just remove it. Then the one that is a PDF that has an answer, I think that one is an application that does that. You can see a file your teacher copied for you was removed, template, introductory, and quiz demo assignment. So if I removed it by mistake, I can still make a copy, and another one will be created automatically by the system for me. And I can come back and now answer it maybe on Google Docs within it. So you can see it comes back again, but I can maybe remove it there. And then I can go back to handing in. One attachment will be submitted for introductory quiz, introductory and quiz demo assignment due 25th June. But obviously, we are submitting it as a late assignment. The lecturer will see it as a late assignment because we set it that it should be submitted by 12:25 today. So I click on handing. Do you see what has happened? It says work submitted. And even this, if the student has maybe done something, then you'll see something here. If I do my annotation very well, I hope you realize something here. Do you see something there? Done late. Do you see that? I think maybe asking if a student has submitted the assignment late. You can see that it is upon you to know what to do about it. But the system does not discourage late submissions. It allows it, and it is totally understandable considering the situation that you are in right now. You can allow your students to hand in late assignments, and maybe you can get to know why they were able to submit late, but it is also important to do that. As I said again, the student can unsubmit and maybe add more content and submit it again. So even if they feel they made a mistake, they can just unsubmit and submit it as long as they are able to do that. For as long as they're able to do that, they can even also add a private comment as a student. They can be able to do that. So removing that, I can go back. Okay, I'm still back on annotating. Delete, stop annotation. Okay, I'm back. So you can see I've already handed it in, and I'll go back now. I'll stop sharing my tablet. So allow that to stop by me just sharing mine here. Okay. Yes. I'll stop screen share too, and I share. And I'm back to that. So let me sort this here. I'm taking it back there. Hope you've gotten that side of the student, how they see it from their Android smartphones. Let's look at what TUI has submitted. TUI, the student. Let's look at it from the teacher. Yeah, I'm checking here. I'm checking on that I'm checking it. I'm checking it from here, from the part-time student account. I mean lecturer account. So going into it, you see. Let's see. Do you see what has happened? One turned in, one assigned. Do you see that? I can confirm that you see that. So one turned in, what that means, one turned in is like the student has given back, and you can see, I can be able to see this has done in, and if the student did not do it in time, I'm seeing missing. There's a missing mark, meaning that they have not done the assignment within the time, and maybe they have also not submitted anything, and yet the assignment period elapsed. So let's look at what we did and see it in a PDF format. And you can see the awesomeness of getting these assignments submitted to you via classrooms. It is very easy to just move from one assignment to another. You can see just use these arrows, just look at it. But if you are sent an assignment on WhatsApp, can you imagine downloading it, all of them, looking at them? If it is submitted to your emails and you have like 200 students, will you have 200 emails to look at? 300. So Classrooms really arranges how you can get your assignments online. The same case to Moodle, but basically this is where you have. I think this was when I was just tapping, and that is where there's these blue icons, blue dots, I mean. But you can see where I did some answers. They are here, and you can the lecturer cannot give me a grade by seeing what I did. They can say, okay, let's give to a 3 out of 5. And you can also comment on top of it. You can also comment on top of it. Can comment on top of it by just selecting and adding a comment here. Then you can say, let me highlight this and say check again and do a comment. I believe you already understand this part of commenting because most of you have been through this. You can also add another one. Okay, maybe add another comment. May say this part, you say good. Do you see that? Once you see that, the student will be able to download the PDF and be able to see the comments that you've given. So let's return. And then another thing you realize, you cannot return for a student who has not submitted an assignment. If the student has not submitted the assignment, you cannot return any mark to them. Unless you decide to give them a mark just because they were given, then you can now return. But by default, and also you can also not return if you have not given a mark also. So I'll turn in this, I'll return. What that means is you are giving. You can see student will be notified, return work to one student will be notified and can check any grade you've left, and as they return. So you can see it is returning, and you can return for all the students at once. In one click of a button, you just look at it, look at all of them, give them marks, then you return for all the students. So you can do that. Let's say you've checked this, you've seen this one is supposed to have a 2. I'm just giving a demonstration. And this other one requires an edit. And it needs to be upgraded to maybe a 4. And then you can see, do you see return multiple submissions? Then you can see you can just select all of them and just click return. So that is what you can do. You can just return. If it is an exam, does this platform has a start time and a close without extension or it block? For exams, you're not going to obviously be using Classroom. Classroom cannot be used. Classroom is not a fully fledged learning management system. So we have Moodle for that. We have Moodle for exams, and that is why you are going to have also the Moodle course administration for that. Okay, Nelson was asking that on the public chat. You don't do exams or any kind of online assessments on the Classrooms. Classrooms is for interaction with the students, and you can see it is kind of ad hoc. We are not even let's say forcing you to follow certain standards when you are naming your assignments, naming your class and such. But in Moodle, you realize that we have a rigid structure on it and how you want things to be done, and the procedure is quite extensive. So yes, so allow me not to return for a student who has not done an assignment. That is not best practice. So I'll go back to that. I'll do return, and you can see the student will be able to see previously it was 3 out of 5. Now they have gotten a 4 out of 5. Hope you've gotten that. That is how you do. And even a student can submit a picture. They can be able to submit a picture. They can be able to take a picture of what they've done, and then can be able to do that. How do they do that? I think I'll reshare something here, and I show you that. Let me do a share. Let's see. Yes, I do a screen. Start now. Okay. Do you see my screen? I believe you see that. I'll go to the classroom app, and I think you can see now I even have the marks. I think I can go back to this. If I go back to the assignment, do you see I've already gotten my 4 out of 5? I think you can see it. You can see it here. You can see I've already been given that. Okay. So I want to show you something when you're wanting to resubmit. You can see a student can add another attachment that is not related to all that you've prepared for them to do here. So they can add another attachment. Okay, let me go to this, add attachment. You see that? I think I need to annotate where maybe I'm going to first. Let me clear that. But it is this part. You can see that. That is the add attachment. So I'll do that, add attachment, and you can see they can be able to take a photo. So maybe if we say take a photo, okay, I'm trying to see whether I have something here or something. So let's say these are questions they are answering. They decided to answer manually on a piece of paper. They can do that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
you
I
are
think.
lost, but you are back.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't for how long was I not audible? You should have told me. I think I've been talking to myself.
Oh, like 1 minute is when you just
For
start
a minute or
sharing.
two. Okay, I thought it was for like 10 minutes. That would have been
No,
okay.
no.
But you are seeing what was happening on my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, you could see what I was doing. So I was just demonstrating how you can a student can submit even a picture of what they've written down. It is as easy as that. If you allow that, maybe if it is part of something you can allow, you can just allow a student to do that for you. And you can see once they do that, the picture is also added and named there. So they can then they can resubmit, hand in your work, 2 attachments will be submitted. Then you can resubmit. So I'll recheck, I'll refresh, I'll stop my sharing on this side and then I'll share on that side. Don't worry, I'm using a lot of devices, so I'll have to, that is I have to confirm. You have to tell me when I'm doing the right, when I'm audible. Okay, yes. So let's refresh this. Let me refresh this as I see whether the picture has appeared. Yes, so you can see the picture. Can you see the picture has appeared here? The one that I took just to show that I was doing it. Maybe I did the assignment, and even as a lecturer, I can be able to comment. Maybe I can say this part. Can say good work. The student can be able to see and search. Can see all of that. You can be able to select an area using this comment section, and you can even say for these all parts. Maybe they say. Recheck notes. Then I can return. Then I say, if I need to change the mark, I can just change the mark and start. Any question? I think that also means we have actually done every part of the Google Classroom assignment. Let's look at it. Under classwork, we already did, when you're actually creating, you have already done the assignment, quiz assignment, you've seen a question, you've seen material. I told you about you can use a post, and I've already shown you about a topic. So I now welcome questions. Then you can take a 10-minute break. Then we look at Moodle from 1 to 1:30. Then you can finish up by 1:45. Any question? Any question? Any question so far? Any question? Any question on Google Classroom assignments? Because that concludes that, and we'll be going to our Moodle platform, especially hoping that you've been actually submitting your notes for digitization. So we'll be going to Moodle, and will allow me to take a break because of concentration and taking at least some sip of water or two for 5 or 10 minutes. Then you can come back and finish up with Moodle, the Moodle learning management system.
It's okay, Kevin.
Yes.
If we don't have any question, we can take it's 12:50. We can take a break of 10 minutes.
Yes, kindly let's take a break of 10 minutes. We come back at 1 and then we finish within 30 minutes. You'll be done with the Moodle. Moodle is a bit more straightforward because most of the things are done for you. Douglas, you're saying you can't hear me. I'm trying to be as loud as possible. If you can't hear me, you can tell me. I've said we can take a 10-minute break. Then we'll come back. We do from 1 to 1:30. That is, we do the Moodle learning management system. How do you administrate your course? Then with that, we'll conclude our training on Google Classroom assignments and Moodle course administration.
I was also a minute,
yes,
Kevin.
Yes.
At least as we go to break, kindly all of us let's come back for the minute to the meeting, because I've seen some of us have just left. But it's okay. Most of the Department of Business members are in. I think those who left are the humanities, the likes of Simpa, but we can see still is around. So
you can take a break and still be on the call. You don't have to leave Zoom. I'll just put the timer here, and I think all of us have muted our videos, so you be sure that it's not going to take your bundles as you are within it. So I'll just put the 10, I think even 9 minutes, because it's already 12:51. I just want us to start at exactly 1. So the break has already started. So allow me to do a 9-minute timer here, so that exactly at 1 we are back. We are back to finish up the training. I totally understand it's quite a long one, and I would want us to really have a break for the purposes of concentration span. The concentration span is also important. So take a break at any point, and you can even say hi to each other. Take a stretch, stand up. If you are seated down, stand up and stretch, and such of that sort.
Hello. We are still in a break. Tunaweza endelea kuongea.
Okay.
Unaweza saidia wale kuna marafiki wetu walishindwa kuingia, Anita.
Nini ilikuwa shida? I think hata nili-enable how to join with a browse. Okay, first of all, let me pause the recording and resume the recording from there. So one thing you realize about the Tharaka University College e-learning Moodle platform, it is a bit different from maybe other Moodle platforms that you've found or maybe met before. So what is quite different about it, and it is important to note, is there's a login with a Google account. I hope I can also show that. Do you see that one? And also, you can also have something such as where you're supposed to log in from. So you have this part. So most of the time, I usually use the login with Google. So always make sure you are doing something of this sort. That is why you're logging in with Google there. Sorry, it must be there. So that is where you do it from there. That is where you're supposed to be able to be logging in from. So when you click on that, first of all, I'll ask, is there anyone who has never activated their Moodle account? Like in this chat, it's not a bad thing. I'd like us to use yours as a demonstration of what we're supposed to do. Is there anyone in the attendance list and in the participants who has not, kindly don't send it via chat. Right now, I'm using my just one screen, so I can't check on the chats autonomously, like simultaneously, I mean.
Yes, I've not used it.
I'm not hearing you. I'm hearing you. You're not audible. Can you speak up?
I've not activated it yet. This is Momanyi.
Yes. Yes, Momanyi. Thanks, Momanyi. Thanks for that. Are you in a position to go through this together? We do this together, such that I'll be able to show you what to do, so that I demonstrate to the rest of the class, of the training participants.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, so when I click login using your account on Google, that is where you're supposed to activate. You start from there. You'll be taken to this page. It's called a sign in with Google page. You'll be able to see this part. It's sign in with Google. Then you'll see choose your account to continue to Tharaka University e-learning. So another thing that you'll realize that you're not supposed to use your Gmail account to log in. You're not supposed to use any kind of account to log in there. So always know that you're supposed to use your account. So I'll use another account. Don't know if I'll have enough accounts to log in. Okay, I can't use it. Maybe I'll have to add it on my phone, and I can't do that. Let's see whether. So once you're able to log in, because I don't want to add Mamanyi's account on my phone, because it requires that I add it on my phone, which I would not be fine. If I do that, I'll just did a hard reset. So basically, what happens is once you choose your account, you'll be redirected. So let me use my account. So I'll do this. I'll do that. So you'll see once I've chosen that, I'll be sent an email. I believe this is part of the standard operating procedures. Then once I'm sent an email on my institutional account, I'll be asked to activate my Moodle account. Then once I activate, I'll be able to come here where I can be able to check the courses. My interface is a bit different because my account has more privileges on the platform. So I'll show you the appropriate procedures which you're supposed to use, and I'll use an email. How you submit. I'll take you through the process. The process is very simple. The first step, you obviously digitize the notes. I think you've been told that to do that. So you digitize the notes offline from wherever you are, and how you're going to do that, and then you've been given a template on how you're going to give the cover page. Our advice is always that to divide them up into topics, clear topics. A number of lecturers are sending us their notes, and they have not divided them into topics. So since it is not our domain knowledge, you cannot divide them into topics for you, because we don't know where one topic starts and a new one ends. So always check on that when you're doing that. So I'll use an example of somebody who did it very well. I don't know whether I'm supposed to log in here, or I'll have to go using, I'll have to use, so let's use e-learning. Let's see e-learning. Okay, and then I'll do a search here. There's one Njuguna. So you can see how she sent her notes. I'll just choose one. Let me choose maybe that one. Do you see how she sent her notes? Most of the time she sent it like in a topic by topic, different Word documents, which are very easy to follow up and see how you can be able to upload. And she did the same for all the units that she's teaching. You can see that.
Excuse me.
Very easy to follow. Yes. Yes, you can ask. Yes,
I think
Dixon.
some members are in waiting room.
They're in the waiting room. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Let me make you also host. Let me go back to the Zoom. Here's my Zoom. Check on participants. Oh, there's a number of them. Sorry. I cannot meet them all. Then I can also do this. I hope you've seen that. Is there anything on the chat? You can see that is why I can't multitask on one. I think I can see his previous chats. I hope that is now sorted. Dixon, thank you. Hope that is sorted.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you can also manage now the waiting room so
true.
that I can concentrate on this. Yes. So I was back. So this is the model. These are very good. We are not restricting you to doing the way Dr. Njuguna did it, but this makes our work very easy in terms of uploading when you do it in this fashion, when you actually give it to us. Okay, let me go back to that. Let me see whether I can do a Zoom. Okay, let me do annotation. So you can be able to see how she has been able to do it, and you can also do it in different ways. You can do it as a zip file. You don't have to send it one by one. You can also send it in one document that is topic in well divided into topics. And also don't forget to give the cover page that has some templates on it. So those are the ways. You can do that, or you can do the way Dr. Christine has done it. So that is how you can do it. Then another thing, going back now, taking us back now to the system, I'll show you the same course. Which was this seminar in community development. That is, and you can see how she sent it, CDEV 813. So it is very easy for me to do a course search. Then I'll search CDEV. It is CDEV 813. Are you seeing it has appeared there on your screen? So once I do that, you'll be able to see. Do you see how the structure of a course within Moodle appears? This is our standard structure. You can be able to see. We have to have it in topical format, and we have to clearly state that this is topic 1, this is topic 2. For others, maybe you decided to call your notes lectures, but when we come to Moodle, we'll say they are topics. We just set them as topics. So always ensure that your notes are in a topical format, because that is where we actually upload the way it's supposed to be, like this. Then I'm trying to also open up my Zoom on this other side to ensure that I come back to you. Okay. Can see this. I can do that. I want to join the meeting using my machine. It is much better when I'm doing that. Okay. So I've already shown you how it should look like in that manner. So you'll allow me to go back to sharing on my computer so that I can be able to demonstrate a number of things and also reconnect Nelson so that he can be able to show how the rest of us how to activate. So an account. So I'll just go to that. Okay. It is loading. Let's see, it loads. I've gone back to my machine and I want to check any active sessions. So okay, it loads. I'll be checking on it, then I'll revert to that. Let me share back here. So another thing that you'll also note is this part. Do you see this part here on the where there's a spotlight? You can see I've tried to use the spotlight to show you where I'm pointing. Do you see that arrow there? You can confirm for me whether you can see that.
Yes.
Yes, you can see. Thank you. I really need that. You know, I can't work alone. Even you're lecturers, you know, you really need feedback on that. Thanks so much. Okay. So when you click on it, you'll see a number of settings. As I was telling the class yesterday, the Moodle is like a cockpit of an aeroplane. You don't use all the features at all the times, and you don't even as a pilot, you don't get to understand every button of a cockpit all in one day. So same case for Moodle, you'll be able to see a lot of features, a lot of things displayed in front of you, but you're not supposed to really use them, all of them at one point in time. So right now, I'll focus on maybe two parts. I'll focus on turn editing on first here. So turn editing on is the second one. I'll click on it. And you can see something, the interface has changed. Do you see the interface has changed? Do you see it has something like pencils somewhere? You see them here, you see them there. Yes, you can see them. You can see that the two pencils somewhere. So it allows you to edit. So most of the time when we have actually, this is what we actually the ICT people do. They actually create those topics and then they add the resources. You'll see the different types of resources and you'll be able to say which they are. Then it is also your work as the lecturer when you talk about module course administration to do what we call adding an activity or a resource. These ones, do you see those ones there? So you are supposed to be able to add an activity like end of chapter quizzes and such and such. So very important and that is why we are also doing this part. You can also personalize your announcements. You can be able to add something that students can do, maybe to introduce each other. You can do an annotation. Maybe you can be able to edit and maybe add something like a chart. You can add something like a chart here. You can, using this part, you can add a chart where students can introduce each other. So you can maybe, let's say, add an activity. And you can see a number of things that have appeared here. You can see assignment chart. Okay, I think I'm having a blue light filter, but let me see whether I can remove the blue light filter. I think it looks much better now, Cindy, without the blue light filter. So so you can see there's assignment which we're going to learn about, which is quite different from the one that we learned. There's chat. These are activities. Activities are things that make a student interact with the platform. There are so many others. I'll not touch on them all, but I'll just mention which I'm going to mention. Assignment, chat. I'm going to talk about a quiz. Most of that. The rest, maybe you're going to learn as you go on in further trainings, in future trainings going forward. On the resources, we really discourage the use of the file, these ones, because it makes Moodle platform become like a repository where students have to come to just download the notes. And that really only share files where maybe it's a case study, they have to check on it on the side, or maybe something like a newspaper article, of which still you can actually provide them within a page. So usually encourage the use of books or pages, but most of the time you can just add and you can see everything is explained. You can see here, you can see it says here, you can be able to see it says a book may be used to display reading materials for individual modules or study, as a staff departmental handbook, as a showcase of portfolio of student work. If it is a page can be used. Mostly you can see it is here. Let me stop the annotation first, and you can see it is here. It is there. A page may be used to present the terms and conditions of a course or a summary of the course syllabus. To embed videos, you can do that. So usually use the page. So since you are doing an activity on the announcement page, before I forget, you can do something like a chat, or you can do something like an like a feedback. You want people to say, to help you get to say something, but you can just use a chat, which is also fine, or something that can interact. Students can have fun interacting with. Then you can add a chat. You can just say introductions chat. Okay, you don't have to put a description. If you decide on a session, you can be able to just change the settings. You can decide never to delete messages. A number of things you can check on that. You can even mark the activity such that students have to show the activity as complete when the conditions are met. Like, student must view this activity to complete it. You can put it as part of the completion tracking, such that students must go through the chart so that they can also consider that they are moving within the course. So you can add that, or I can say save and display. The difference between save and return to course and save and display save and display takes you to what you just created. Save and return to course takes you back to where the course starts from. So you can see this called the introduction search. Then you can say, click here to enter the chart window. So you can see it takes me to the chart. Then I can say, hello, and I think it will show my account. You can see it shows, and maybe if there's somebody else, they can say hi to me within the chat, and it appears as such. So that is the chat. You can show it there, and it is can be part of the general introduction. So you can see it is within the announcements. You can see there's an introduction start that has appeared there. So for end of chapter quizzes, you can see at the end of each and every topic, or end of chapter or end of topic, you can add an activity or a resource, and then within it you can choose a quiz. Usually choose a quiz here. So when you choose a quiz, you can and then you add it, you can read more about it once you activate. And also you have to be enrolled. You have to be enrolled into a course by the ICT for you to be able to access these features. So, and you cannot be enrolled to a course that you haven't given digitized notes for. So, and they have having them uploaded by ICT. So let's call these like check your understanding. Check your understanding. So let's say you remember those end of book chapter quizzes that usually give. You can prepare one like here. Under timing, you can just decide maybe it will be open for a certain period of time and closed. That is why you choose the timing. For the grade, you can choose that it should be, let's say, a grade to pass can be, it should be like if it is out of 20, if it is out of 15 to pass, you have to get 10 and above. Attempts allowed. For end of chapter quizzes, we usually advocate for unlimited attempts so that students can be able to try as many times as possible to get to understand what material is there, the material within that topic. A grading method, you can choose that the grade will be given on the last attempt, the last one, or the first attempt, which doesn't make sense if you are giving unlimited attempts, and the average grade of all the attempts that the student is making, or the highest. But most of the time, we usually choose the highest grade of all the attempts. Layout, under layout, it also depends on the questions that you're giving. You're giving the students. So depending if it is if you're going to give 20 questions, and you'd want it to be divided into 2 or 3, okay, let's say 3 or 4 pages. How many questions should be there in each and every page? Let me repeat that question. If you have 20 questions and you want the questions to be given in, let's say, 5 pages, how many questions should be there in each and every page? How many questions should be there in each and every page? You can say on the chat, you can say, you can unmute yourself and then you can tell us how many questions. How many questions I've asked? If you are going to give the students 20 questions and you want to divide them into pages and you don't want it to go beyond 4 pages, how many questions will you put in each and every page?
5.
Yes?
5.
5, yes. Yes, 5 can be feasible. That is 5 questions for 4 pages. So that will account for 20 questions. So you can say every 5 questions. If you're going to give 2 or 3 questions or 4 questions, just a little, you can just put them as every, you can just say all questions on 1 page. You can say every question should be on its own page. This applies for at least questions that range between 1 and 5. But if you have questions that are beyond 5 questions, it's better to divide them up so that the student cannot be overwhelmed by so many questions on the screen at one point in time. So, so for this, since it's a demonstration, I'll just allow me to just say every 2 questions because I don't intend to go beyond 2 questions. Shuffle within questions. under question behavior, you don't if you intend to ask a question in a chronological manner, don't shuffle the questions. So you say no. On these, I'll not explain all of them. I'll just say what deferred feedback means. Deferred feedback means that the student will get the feedback about the marks after they have completed doing the whole quiz, not during the quiz. Immediate feedback means that they are going to get feedback as they try. So there are so many other options interactive with multiple tries, deferred feedback, but that is not the essence of us doing that. I don't want to do a training on evaluation, but usually just use deferred feedback. I don't want to do a rigorous understanding of that. So usually just leave it as deferred feedback. Don't change it to anything else. There's another thing here. Each attempt builds on the last. You can, if that is the case, you say yes. That is, usually see a question which the answer from the previous question informs the next question. So you can have it on. Okay, review options, you just leave it as it is. Appearance, you remove the decimal places. Usually don't give decimal places in our in the marks that we give, unless if you are the one who usually gives marks 1.5 marks, 3 marks, 3.5, and such, you can put 1 decimal place. But I believe most of the time we put it in whole numbers, so just leave it as at 0 decimal places. Extra restrictions. There was somebody was asking, can you lock an assignment? So here you can be able to lock and put a password such that somebody has to put a certain password that you give them for them to be able to put an attempt. But usually don't put them on an end of chapter, get to understand, get to check your understanding quiz. So you don't do that. Then overall feedback, you can give feedback such that if somebody gets 100%, you can tell them excellent. You can put them excellent there. If it is there between 80 and 100, you can say maybe, let's say it's a good, that is the percentage, and add more maybe and such. So this is where you actually put the feedback for overall feedback. This one, you leave it the way it is. They show on course page, ID number, just leave it the way. Common module settings, you just leave it the way it is. Restrictions, you can add a certain restriction. Here, you can be able to add different kinds of restrictions. You can see there's activity completion, there's the date, there's the grade, user profile, and restriction set. So most of the time, usually use the activity completion and the date. Activity completion is where you require the students to have read the topic that is within Moodle for them to be able to attempt the quiz. So that is activity completion. Then date, you can be able to prevent access until a certain period of time. Maybe you've created the quiz, but you don't want people to see the quiz up until a certain day in time when you're going to say, you're going to be sure, then you can announce it, then it becomes available automatically. Require students to achieve a specified grade. So let's say it builds on the check on your understanding. So you can be able to say if students have achieved a certain grade in a certain quiz, they can be able to now do this quiz. User profile control access based on fields within the student profile. Maybe that is too technical, where you restrict according to a certain set of, you restrict biased according to a certain field. And then you can also add a set of nested decision or apply complex logic. Is where you can put a certain logic that depends on both date, activity completion, but most of the time we usually use activity completion for the end of chapter quizzes. So you can see the restriction: student must match the following. Then we choose the topic. The topic is preparing a seminar paper. They must be marked, must be complete, must be marked complete. There are so many others, and I told you Moodle is a lot more detailed. So take time, get to activate your account, get your notes uploaded so that you can be able to test all these. Then activity completion, student can manually mark. No, always ensure that student show activity when the conditions are met, and student must view this activity to complete it. But if it is a quiz, student must receive a grade to complete these activities. Like saying a student, when they go to an exam room, they must view the exam and they must be able to do it, and then they must be able to be given a mark by the system to have been considered having done and completed the exam. So that is what it means. If you want to require a passing grade, you can put it there. Or all available attempts completed. If you've given it 20 or 10 attempts, you can ensure that all the students must try the quiz for 5 or 10 times. But this one is, you leave it the way it is. Tags, leave it. Leave it. You don't have to fill it. Competencies, you leave it. So at the end of it all, this is just setting up the quiz settings. So we save and display. So we go back to, you can see it is fine. So we go back to CDEV 813 there, and then you can see it. Where has it gone to? I should be seeing it here. Let me see. I think maybe there's something I did not fulfill. Let me check. Feedback grade must be between 0 and 100. The value entered is out of range. I think it's fine now. Okay, let me just remove this one. Okay. It's just giving me some feedback on what I need to do. So you can see it has worked. So it has finished sorting it out, sorting the issues. So you can see, check your understanding quiz. It has appeared, and you can see it has a different kind of an icon. You can see the page looks like that, and the page looks like that, and the quiz looks a bit different. For someone who's not seen that, I can do this. You can see there, you can see the difference. The quiz has a tick, and the page has something like some lines. So I do that. So you can see it is also written something here: restricted, not available until the activity preparing a seminar is marked complete. So the student must have completed preparing a seminar paper to be able to check the understanding of what they've read. So you can be able to have some completion tracking, and these are features you cannot get on Classroom. You can be able to confirm and check that your notes are being read. And you can be able to check at what point in time are they moving. Are they on topic 2? Is the student in topic 1, topic 5? And you can see that. So we haven't added a question to the quiz. So you need to go to the quiz and check on it. So you can see no questions have been added yet. No questions have been added yet. Then you can edit the quiz. You can see that. So when you edit the quiz, there's this part here. Do you see that part? Written add. I hope you can see that. You can click on add, then you can choose a new question. So you can see there are so many questions. I told you module is like a pilot's cockpit. You can be able to check so many different types of questions you can create. There's the normal multiple choice question, which you understand. There's a true false question. There's a matching question where you can be able to match a certain description to a certain terminology. There's a short answer, which is quite easy to understand. There's a numerical answer where the student has to give a number. There's an essay. There's a calculated multiple choice and a calculated simple. And then there's a drag and drop onto the text, drag and drop markers, drag and drop onto an image. Maybe you've drawn an image, like let's say it's a supply and demand curve, and they have to maybe, let's say, what is on the X or what is on the Y axis. You can do that. You can do embedded answer, like a closed question. I believe we usually used to do this back in our primary and secondary. You have a paragraph and people fill in, embed some answers within the paragraph. Then there's random short answer matching. Then they select missing words. So many. So I'll just use a simple true or false. Then just add that. And then you can see the question name is, I can just say question 1. Just leave up question 1. That, and the text is, I can just write a simple question like a true for seminar papers are biased. Like it's a true or false question. Default mark, it can be 1 mark. Correct answer, you can see they can now choose the correct answer here. Is it true or false? Obviously the answer is false there. Response, if somebody has said true, you can say incorrect. Kindly recheck. Kindly revisit. The notes, something of that sort, can give a feedback there. Feedback if false, you can say good, or you can add something else there. Multiple tries, penalty for each incorrect try, maybe you can say 1. I just leave it the way they are. So you click save changes. If you want to continue adding more questions, you can add it there. So you can see the question has appeared there. Then you can maybe save. So it is already saved. So when I get out, I can go back to checking my understanding. Do you see what something has happened? They were saying no questions. I can see attempt quiz now. If I want to add another question, I can do this. I can edit this quiz, and you can see here I can add a new question and another question will appear. So I'll go back and attempt this quiz as a lecture. You can attempt it as a preview to check how it appears. So you can see seminar papers are biased. So let me choose an incorrect answer. Let me say true. Then I finish the attempt. Submit all and finish. Submit all and finish. And you can see I get a feedback. I can be, as somebody can be able to know how long I took to actually do this assignment, this quiz, and you can see okay. Feedback, you can see I think I did a mistake on feedback when I said excellent here on 0. So 0 out of 10 and something of that sort. So I can maybe remove that on the feedback there, because you cannot get an excellent when you've gotten a 0 out of 10. But you can check that. Okay, I can start a new preview and I do a correct answer. Seminar papers are biased. Finish attempt. Submit all and finish. Submit all and finish. You can see I now get a feedback. I can see the correct answer is false, and you can say get a tick on it. So you can add more questions. If there are so many questions, you could see them being broken down into pages. And that is how you create you make your content interactive. You make your content very interactive. And let me turn editing off so that you can see it from the perspective of a student. So student, once they open it here, then they open topic 1, they'll be able to see, first of all, the notes. You can see the notes. They can read the notes directly from the platform. They don't have to download anything. Then they can just finish. When they finish, they can just click check your understanding. So once they go there, you can see preview in progress. You can continue from the last attempt. Then you can say it is true, and I finish attempt. Then I can say submit all and finish. It gives a lot of confirmations because they really want to know whether the students are really finished the nini. So I'll recheck on this. You can go to check your understanding, and then you can edit the quiz, and then you can see, I can see edit settings of the quiz, feedback, overall feedback. Just remove that there. So that you go back to this, I can just finish up with that. And then I can see, let's see if I go back to this, if we see it will still show that one, so that I've corrected that. Attempt quiz, true. Okay, it should be false. Finish attempt, submit all and finish, submit all and finish. And you can see there's no part of a feedback now. There's now just the grade. So you can see that is how it works. Those are the questions, how you can do the questions. So you'll allow me to do a cleanup because this is Dr. Christine's course. I wouldn't want her to find that I was doing some questions for her once she's enrolled to this course. So I'll allow me to do this. Then I'll edit the settings and I'll delete them. I'll delete them all. Edit, can delete that one, can delete that quiz, and also I can delete that chat. Yes, so I think with that, I'll now welcome questions. As I say, I'm done with training you on how to administrate. And also another thing is on participants, almost forgotten. That is where you get your students. You have to enroll students. ICT will not be enrolling students for you most of the time. So you can enroll users, and you can see this is where also ICT will enroll you as a lecturer. So let's say it is Christine. I don't know that she's activated her account. So she hasn't activated her account. So let's say it is myself who is the lecturer. So you can see I'll find myself here. And you can see once I click myself, it appears up here. You can see it has appeared up there. Then I can now choose the role that I'm supposed to be given, that is a lecturer. These options are available to me because my account has all the privileges. But for you, you'll realize that you can only enroll an editing teacher and a student because you're being given the lecturer role. A manager can do all the three. And then myself, I can do all the four. So I'll just enroll myself as a lecturer. to that course, and you can see it will appear and the roles will appear there. You can also enroll a student. To enroll students, let's say all your students have their registration number starting with ABT1. You can see all of them will appear, and something fantastic about it is you can just tap them, they'll start appearing. I'm just using my phone, that is why you can see it is, I can just tap them and they will appear. You can see these are different students who have already activated their Moodle accounts. So I'll be able to see this, and then once you are done, you just enroll them. So you can see I can enroll the students and then they'll appear. You can see they've already appeared as the students. You can see I've already seen the students there. But since they're not part of the CDEV course, allow me, that is how it works. Allow me to do that. And allow me to do that. And with selected users, I can unenroll. So you can see I'm back. I can also unenroll myself so that it is ready for back to where we started. So basically that is that. Unless there's any question, I think I'll call it a class and I'll call it a training. Is there any question? Any question? I didn't check the chat. Thank you. I think you're answering the five questions. Any question?
Sorry,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
When we started, some members
Mhm.
were not yet in the meeting. Can you maybe at least show how you start?
Or how you start. Obviously, the good thing is they'll be able to follow the recording once you avail it. But I'll do that. I'll just show very simple. You activate your Moodle account. If you have not been able to activate your Moodle account, we have the document called the standard operating procedure. If you don't have it, it can be sent to you either by your COD or myself. I can do that for you. Then once you log into your account, there's what we call the dashboard, which you usually get. Mine looks different because I have more privileges, but usually maybe you can be able to see a course overview and such. Then once you activate your account, I'll reiterate the process. Step one is you have digitized your notes. You have no business on Moodle if you haven't digitized your notes, because what are you coming to look at? Because you haven't given us materials to upload. So you digitize the notes, then you send it to elearning@taraka.ac.ke. You can even maybe CC optionally your COD and the ICT departmental support person if you know them. If you don't know them, you can just send it to e-learning. It will be forwarded to the relevant person to do it, to do the upload. Once the upload is completed, your activated Moodle account will be enrolled as a lecturer account onto the platform, onto the Moodle course that was uploaded for you within the courses. So all the courses that were being taught this last semester have already been uploaded onto the platform. All of them are here. I think you can be able to see a number of them. Then you'll see, you can be able to see all these are courses. You can check. I don't know whether there's anyone who has been giving. You can see these are an empty course. So I'm sure that Become 111 Principles of Accounting 1, the digitized notes have not been sent. I think this is year one semester one, so it can't be having notes. Let me go to I think they are in year one semester 2. Dixon, were they in year one semester 2?
Become 161 is year one semester 1.
Okay, I mean the current students, the current Become students, they are in year one semester 2.
The current Become students.
Current first year students, current first year Become students, are they in semester 1 or semester 2?
we have two groups. We have year 1 semester 1 and we have year 1 semester 2.
Or so you have both groups. So what we expect, obviously,
Yeah.
if you have already all of them currently, is that if they are going to access the portal and we had some notes that have been sent, they'll be able to come in and they'll be able to audit the notes fast. So what happens is once you are enrolled into a unit, after it has been uploaded, it is your work to audit what has been done by ICT, check that it has been done well, make it as interactive as I've demonstrated. Then after you've done that, you can now enroll the students. Don't jump onto enrolling students if you haven't checked that your work is well done. Also, we'll be having more trainings on e-learning and Moodle and e-learning material development. So as you go on, you'll be getting better and better in being virtual instructors. So the recording will be sent. So don't worry if you missed out, you joined late after the break. The recording will be given to you. There's a question asked on the chat: which password you use to log into Moodle? I think I covered that. Maybe you are not within the chat, within the meeting when I was explaining that. There's no point in time. Let me log out here. There's no point in time when you'll use this part. Okay. There's no point in time when you'll use this part. This part is only used by the super account, and the super account is only one account. So nobody else is using that part apart from the account that was set up when the Moodle platform was being developed. So every other user is using this part. It's a bit light, so let me just use a blue one or a black one. Using that part, you can see that is the part that you're using. Log in using your account on Google. It is available even on the mobile app. I can show you how it looks on the mobile app, if you may, so that you can be able to understand. Let me just clear the markers that way. Do that. You can see it is here. There's the mobile app, and the good thing about the mobile app is a student can be able to save the courses for offline access. They can just easily see that and be able to access it for offline access. So let it load. I think it will load directly to my account, if I'm not wrong. Let it load. It is on the second phase of loading. When you see it is that way, yeah, that is where we are. You can see it is loaded. It has loaded my courses, and you can see these are courses as I've already added some content on, and you can see it has even the course outline. I put it there as a PDF. I did. You can see, you can be able to see information, presentation, and communication. A student, when they open it, they'll be able to just open the notes from there. You can see they can just continue just reading the notes from Moodle, and they can be able to see when it was last modified. Once they are done, they can be able to check the understanding. You can see that, and all this is being done on the mobile app. You can see continue last attempt. Maybe I think I not finished it. Then you can see these are matching question. A student can be able to just choose method. I choose the dark mode, so you don't wonder why it looks dark. It's just on my settings for Moodle. I usually prefer the dark side, the view of it, the color scheme. You can see I chose dark. You can choose light. You can see it will appear like that, and then you can just go back. A student can be able to see. If I go back to where we were, if I go back, you can see And you can see the questions. As a presenter, it is important to know the I can take this context and put it there to communicate the message so that they ensure there's no impediment. Impediment will appear. Even you can see it has colors, so it helps guys. This please put an answer in each box. Then can be able to answer these. I'm just doing a random fill. Can see. Let me just fill it without. Without getting to understand whether I'm doing it right or wrong, just to fill it. And you can see once I do it, I can go to next, and I can see I can submit. This is an area where I can confirm that I've done question 1 and 2. Then I can submit. Can do that, and all this is being done on the mobile app, and you can see I can get immediate answers. I don't have to wait for the lecturer to give me answers. And you can see I got a 6 out of 10. I think I just chose the wrong things here, and you can see it even shows the correct answer. Question 2, I think I got a 4 out of 4. You can see a student can be able to see, and it was completed, the date was started on, the date was completed. You can see even know how long the student took to do that. So so all these, when you get the app, and it is important to say this, if I log out and I add, when I'm logging in, always choose this part. Don't try to wonder what is the username and the password for me to log in. Why have I not been given that? Always choose this part. Do you see that part? It is already here. Choose that, then log in using your Taraka. Using your Taraka account, and then you are able to activate it. Is that clear? I think that is clear. So this is only for one account that can do that. So every time you're logging in, you're using that part, whether on the app or whether on the website itself. Is that clear?
So.
Yes. I think I can say it has been awesome. Unless there's any question being directed or shooted towards me, shot towards me, I can say I've completed the training, and thank you for taking part. Thank you for being part of this crazy marathon of our training. And yes, I think I can call it that. Allow me to now go back to Zoom and Zoom. And call it a class. Thank you so much. And maybe there's a closing comment, maybe from the chair and anyone from the membership. I think I can say it has been nice. And is there any chat I missed?
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, you can.
Thank you so much for giving us this chance as our departmental training today. I think it's the first time we had a departmental training. Thank you also for members attending. I know you have sacrificed a lot of your time, a lot of your bundles. You had other core important things you are attending to. But now, as you see, is the sacrifice we should make. At least we should not have issues on the digital or the e-learning platform. So at least we can direct our students well. Now, maybe I can give a chance, maybe you 1 or 2 before we get our prayer. Let me see who can pray for us. Njagi can take us our closing prayer. But if you can, as you have heard, let's make sure we digitalize the notes. Next semester, we might begin next semester anytime, maybe virtually. So, as also a request, digitalize your notes in your area of specialization. Wind up those classes that you add this semester. I think you've had the direction. You're supposed to send those notes to the ICT, and I shared the document, the template for the front page in our WhatsApp group, and I asked you to make sure that you join, and not join, access. Always visit our business administration WhatsApp group. We do a lot of communication there. Also, if you have an issue, just call me. I'm ready to assist. So I will thank
Okay,
again.
let me also add something I forgot to say.
Okay,
okay. We I sent, I think, a number of links on the email, on your emails, and there's, I think, a number of you. I think there's Maureen and some people asking how will they type some mathematical notations. So we got a subscription up until 1st August from Wiris. I think I sent that communication out. So using Google Docs within our Taraka domain, that is your Taraka institutional account, you can open Google Docs, go to add-ons, and then you can be able to enter your mathematical notations, even typing, just using drawing them, and then they are converted into mathematical notations automatically there. So that is Wiris, and I think I already sent a help link for Wiris together with the important links. There are even simulations that are there. So in case you need any support for any online or e-learning material, kindly reach out to me, and I'll help you out, and anyone involved in ICT, we can help. So thanks so much. I've seen your sacrifice. I hope you've seen also my sacrifice on my part. And as also going forward, I think we're going to be going on. We were told yesterday by Professor Nyaga, because she's part of the Faculty of Education and Humanities, that they met within a ministry meeting, a ministry virtual meeting, and they were told that the success of any kind of online learning is continuous training. So when you're called upon any kind of training, kindly come for them. These are trainings if it was not for Corona, you'll actually be paying for them. Or in another setting, you have to travel to maybe a different town or a different place to just go, and you have to go and spend. You have to go and pay for accommodation and get this training. So, so thank you so much, and have a nice time. Continue digitizing notes. We are going there to support you, and thank you for also supporting us, and all the best for yourself and also for the students that you teach. May this training also be of value to them. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Also to talk on recruitment of students, kindly those classes that have very few students or zero students, kindly make sure that you recruit students. Like I can give you example of the groups in education. They have students like 90, and you find like 60 students have enrolled. So, and our department, we don't have those main kind of numbers, so it's easier to at least to enroll the students. Secondly, we have a challenge, so let us now go for a campaign of recruiting students. At least we have 100%. If not 100, we are 90%, so that we have minimal challenges when maybe the school reopens. You know, those students, if they don't get that kind of attendance, they will say that they were never engaged during the pandemic. So kindly let's try to engage those students, and so at least we minimize those complaints. Also, when they have issues, at least try to solve it. It's unsolvable on your side, just forward it either to me, either to anybody in the department you think is in a good chance to. But try as much as possible to reduce those kind of. But the major thing, the campaign I want us to make sure is the 100% enrollment or recruitment of those students to e-platforms, and also active. You reach them, you reach the students actively, so that they are not lost. Thank you so much. And maybe we last one is about the reports. Also is good. I can give you the reports. The reports you can revise the reports you said last time. Maybe at least to see how it's going on. Maybe by Friday. I can give it Monday, maybe 2 p.m. So kindly submit your reports Monday 2 p.m. At least we see how the progress. And as you have seen on our side, you can easily monitor how these classes are active. So but you don't want to go to that kind of manner. So let's just be let's say let it be you, not as, so that we can prosper as a team, not just as a person. So most those who are trying, those who have digital notes, thank you so much. People of Lake area, I have seen they have good content. They have digitally all the notes. So those who have not, at least make sure you finalize and you share. I think if you last the contacts of the ICT, you get you the contacts, so that those digital notes can be uploaded to the e-module. As you have seen, we are going to move from Google Classroom. Classroom is just, it was like a savior for the first time. So after that, we'll be moving directly to e-module, the Taraka. As you have seen, you see, we have application like those of Safaricom, those of WhatsApp. Those are that's now we'll be using that. That's why we are working towards that kind of the platform. Thank you so much again. I think if you have any query, we can close this meeting. I think I said maybe Kirimi can play for us. I think he's lost. Maybe somebody else you can take us our final play. Maybe I can say Douglas. But if you have a question, you can raise that question. And the matters of payment of part time, I'm on it. So we are finalizing that. At least we make sure that you're also catered for. Asante sana. Maybe any query, any question, you can just unmute and talk. If there's no question, maybe Douglas, you can play for us as we finish this meeting. I can say thank you again so much. I think there's no question. Nani Douglas, you can unmute and play for us. Yes, Muma. Yes. Nelson Mumanya, I think he has unmuted. You want to talk about something?
Myself.
We can't
Yes,
hear
Mama.
you.
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Yes. Now
Yes, you can speak up.
No, I don't have any question. It's basically to appreciate the presentation that has been made by Kevin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other question? Maybe there is no question. Maybe and those who are, maybe we can pray, and so that we finish the meeting. We can pray our evening Father as we come to the end of our meeting today. Thank you for everything. Thank you for guiding us, so that for what we have accomplished today. Thank you for our ICT facilitator, Kevin Ichue, who has assisted to educate our department lecturers and staff, so that we can move forward the e-learning platform. Also, God, we ask you to guide us, to take care of us during this pandemic. Give us another chance, so that we can also meet again and your name will be glorified. Also, God, we pray for all families, we pray for our country, the whole world. Take care of, you are in control, God. Thank you, God. I ask that in a humble prayer, believing your holy name, I pray and believe.
Amen. Thank you. Bye.
Amen. Bye bye. Have a nice
Amen.
time.
You too.